Guys, the NBA season is finally back. As you guys see by the title, today we're reacting to every single NBA team's first game. We're recording this on Wednesday night. So, we saw opening night, the first two big games. We saw almost every other team play within, games just ended an hour ago. We're ready to give you our raw reactions. It's going to be great.
This is exactly what we've been waiting for months. Facts. And it's finally here. A full day of games. Listen, we saw some trash today, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like this,
we saw some buns.
We saw some trash today. We're gonna talk about all that, though.
We saw all types of things. We saw great performances, underwhelming performances, and shockers. Who would have known Derek Lively would have given us 17, 18 points on his rookie debut? It's crazy. And Scoot Henderson gave us a big ass 0. But before we get into all that, we have some very important things to talk about. We have about 4,000 followers on Twitter. Word on the street is that if y'all get us to 10K, we are going to be giving away a PS5. What are
Facts.
you doing? Time is ticking. Someone needs a PS5 by Christmas, and you watching this right now are taking it away from them. Stop being greedy.
Exactly.
100%.
Like you said, follow us on Twitter to enter the PS5 giveaway. As soon as we hit 10K, we're selecting one of you at random. Outside of that, if you're watching on YouTube, do us a favor, drop a like, subscribe, check out all of our personal YouTube channels. Mo just dropped a video on his. Check that out. Link will be in the top of the description. Yeah, man. Follow us on socials. If you're on audio, leave us a 5-star review, download, all that. Check out the merch. You'll see it on the bottom shop tab. All that. But yeah, man. Let's get straight into it.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
So I think the way we're going to do this, some of the bigger games we're going to dive deep into and talk heavily about. Outside of that, once we get past the biggest stories, we're going to kind of rapid fire through each game and to match the title. Each of us are going to say one thing we learned from that game.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Reminds me back when I was in middle school.
Writing reading reviews.
We're gonna see who's dumb. It's kind of like popcorn reading.
see which one of us has to read with our finger. I'm probably offending some people, some non-readers.
Oh no, for sure.
The crayon eaters, they're furious right now.
My bad, y'all. You're still valuable. First game we're gonna talk about: Lakers versus Nuggets. That's I think the one that had the most discourse around it for a variety of reasons. Donovan, what did you learn from Lakers versus Nuggets?
I learned that Anthony Davis is still Anthony Davis, and that in one game we were able to see everything. We were able to see great defense. We were able to see a first half of dominance offensively, and we were able to see a second half where he just does absolutely nothing and has everybody on the internet telling him that he needs to go get his CDL license. Stephen A is telling him that he's a disappointment, that he's not worth the money and all that type of stuff. We got the full Anthony Davis experiment in 48 minutes. And so he is who he is. And so my expectations have not changed at all. I know who he is now.
Yeah, we're going to dive deep into that.
Man,
Mo, what is one thing you learned about the game?
One thing that I learned about the game is that Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis, and Nikola Jokic is, I almost want to say, he was by far and away the best player on that in that entire court for sure.
Easily. Yeah.
But yeah, the Lakers have ways to go, and one thing that I've taken home and I've just the ship has sailed officially for me. If Anthony Davis is the best player on your team, or you want to be the best on your team is just waiting to have a disappointment later in April, bro. That's how it is.
Tough. Yeah. Listen, we're going to talk plenty about the Lakers' negatives and what happened with Anthony Davis, but I don't even really want to focus on that. What I learned is the Nuggets are going to win the fucking championship again. They're still the best team in the league, and I think the fact that Anthony Davis looks so poor in the second half is a greater testament to the Nuggets defense and Nikola Jokic's defense too. And I think this team was just on a string. And rather than him completely choking, which he didn't do a good job, the Nuggets just completely shut him down. It was more them being extremely good than it is Anthony Davis being a choker, I think.
Yeah, I agree. They figured him out. The Lakers are a really good team, one of the higher class teams in the NBA. They're probably a S or A tier team, whatever range you want to put them. Just know that they're good, But the Denver Nuggets are on another level. The type of cylinders that they were clicking on, offensively, they're going to do their thing, but defensively, To me, it almost feels like that was even more impressive.
Yeah. So I guess we should give people a little bit of context of what happened, what we're alluding to, in case they somehow didn't see it. Game started, opening night, Lakers played defending champions Nuggets. There's some animosity in the room because the Nuggets were talking a lot of shit after it ended, and LeBron and AD, quote unquote, had conversations about it and didn't like it, whatever that means. And the first half came, AD came out looking great, I think. Would you agree, Donovan?
Yeah.
In the first half?
For sure. Like
he had 17 points in the first half and looked as mobile as he's looked since like 2020.
Yeah, he was really agile. I think also another thing that we like, and we're probably going to get to it, but another thing that I think we all learned is that, this Lakers team is going to be very different because if LeBron is actually only going to play 29 to 30 minutes a night, like Darvin Ham said after the game, like Mo said, if Anthony Davis is now going to be your number one option offensively, a lot of things change in terms of like how your offense is going to flow and just our like perception of what that means of having an AD led offense rather than a LeBron led offense,
Yeah. One thing I noticed was LeBron in the half court was just like deferring, keeping the ball moving, and he really got his in transition. I noticed a lot of times, anytime he got a rebound, he's pushing that bitch, diving straight to the rim, knocking everybody out of the way, because that's where he can still get a full head of steam and be basically unstoppable. But it's hard for him to have that burst consistently. It takes a lot more effort in the half court. So it seems like the goal there is to like let Reeves and AD run the half court offense, and then LeBron eats in transition, and then obviously if the fourth quarter comes around and he has to be more of a surgeon in the half court, then he'll probably exert more effort. But I agree, it's going to be a different type of team building around him in the half court.
And I don't know if LeBron likes it. There's a clip circulating right now. He walked up to assistant coach Phil Handy, and he was like, he walked up to D'Lo too, but also he spoke to Phil Handy, and he was like, I can play point guard, right? Too. Like I'm just standing on the elbow. I swear to, there's a clip out there, Nikhil. You can pull that up. That. He was like, I could play point guard too, right? And there's like clear frustration to what you're alluding to, Isaac. Like, yeah, they're trying to give D'Lo the keys and also let Austin Reeves take that next step. We all believe that he's going to be the third option.
I did not see
this does not sit right with LeBron, and I just know that there's no way in hell they can continue to play like this. That's what I'm saying. Like, knowing LeBron, I don't know him, but seeing how he plays, there's just no way in hell AD could be a big man, especially at that, could be the forefront and face of your offense. It's not possible. This is crazy.
I did not see this. See, we're showing it on the screen right now. AD's LeBron saying, I'm just floating around. I can play point two. Interesting. I think a lot of us kind of thought that him being more passive was like probably his choice, but it sounds like it's not. That's interesting.
This is like an in-game load management. I mean, listen, they have three, and especially like for the early part in the season, if you have Gabe Vincent, D'Lo, and Austin Reeves, you have three other guys who can, in theory, create offense, kind of run the show a little bit. And so like it makes sense why game 1 of 82, Darvin Ham's coming out and it's like, okay, we're gonna let these other guys let's see what they have. Let's see what we can actually do. And like how can we steal minutes with LeBron not giving full effort at point guard and stuff like that. So I mean, listen, we're gonna have to see what things look like in like 10 games, 15 games. I don't think that the Lakers are gonna be able to consistently play LeBron 29, 30 minutes the way that they plan and be at the top of the conference. Eventually, he's going to have to ramp up, and it's probably going to be sooner rather than later.
That's what I'm saying. I have so many thoughts when it comes to the Lakers, like construction and comparing them compared to their championship roster in 2020. And there's been only 2 players in NBA history who's been able to average 9-10 assists per game and win an NBA championship. Usually when NBA teams do that, that tells you like they're so top heavy and there's some player who's OD ball dominant, you know what I'm saying? And the team lacks ball handlers, playmakers. And those 2 players are, of course, LeBron James in 2020. And then can anyone guess? Too late. Ding, 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 Magic Johnson, 2 of the top 5 players of all time, you know what I'm saying? And now LeBron doesn't have to play that way or do those things. But at the same time, like, this is LeBron James. He's pushing fucking 40. If he can handle the load, give it to him. What do you have to lose? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather lose.
Well, you have a lot to lose, though.
You have a lot to lose.
If his foot pops in the middle of the season, it's done. It's a wrap. So, like, I can understand, and especially coming off of last playoff where he was hurt the entire time and you, like, they kind of felt like they had a ceiling on them because LeBron was hurt. You probably want to say, like, we're not going to tank our season because we're trying to prove something to the Nuggets in game one. But at the same time, who's not hurt, who is barely 30 years old, again, Anthony Davis, you're going to have to show up.
Let's talk about it.
You're going to have to do that, right? If this is the plan, and I'm pretty sure that they told Anthony Davis before this game that LeBron is probably going to be some type of limited. You have to go into this game. You have to go into the second half understanding what your role is and how much weight is going to be put on you. And you're going to have to score. Like, that's just, I know he's not a creator. He's obviously like not Joker or Embiid when it comes to offense. You have to do the same thing. You're going to have to score buckets.
Yeah. Let's talk about Anthony Davis. Let's get into this. We've alluded to it. 17 points in the first half, looked great, really agile. He was attacking off the dribble like he used to do as a ball handler when he was younger. Past couple years, he put on weight, and there's been a lot of talk about how that wasn't good for him, and that kind of turned him into more of a power down low scorer. We saw him go back to what seemed to be in good shape, and he's being more agile off the dribble, like those guard skills he was known for. Second half, all that shit disappeared. And listen, the talk is going to be, like it always has been, AD just isn't that level of creator, because he's not. Like you said, he's a big man. And the talk is always like, he doesn't want it bad enough. He doesn't care. He doesn't got that dog in him, all that shit. Which, to some extent, you have to get a bucket, right? He's not the first player to ever be double teamed in the second half. It's not exclusive to him. You have to be able to be good enough to fight away from that and still impact the game when they don't want you to. But man, the Nuggets just did a great job on defense.
That's what I'm saying. There's only so much someone like AD can do, and I think when it comes to the discussion of Anthony Davis and what we all expect him and want him to be, us fans will have a lot easier of a time to just accepting the fact that, like, this young agile AD that we saw back in 2018, 2019 type shit, hell, maybe even 2020, some could say, it's gone. It's over. This man hasn't played over 60 games since, like, what, 2018 or something like that, or 2020. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. And he's 30 now. And someone who's had so many injuries, changed up his complete game play style, gained hella weight. It's like, this is not the same Anthony Davis, and you cannot continue to push those, in my opinion, those type of... Finish my sentence for me. My mind just went blank.
Yeah, those type of expectations. I know what you mean. But even outside of that, I think most games will be fine. He's going to average 26 points per game again and be the AD he was last year, who was largely dominant. We agreed it was one of his better scoring seasons. Mm-hmm. The problem is the Nuggets just fucking own him. Jokic just has his number in every way possible. Obviously, you can't defend Jokic. He makes AD look like a scrub on defense because Jokic is that level of offensive player. You can't stop one-on-one. We don't really fault AD for that. It's Jokic, right? But even on the other end, Jokic is really good at defending Davis because he's so big, and a lot of AD's game is just like getting around people using his size. It seems like he low-key kind of struggles with Jokic, who's good at just doing his best, putting his hands up, being big, and defending him without fouling. And then you have Aaron Gordon helping on the nails, KCP helping on the nails, who's a really smart defender, and Michael Porter Jr., who last night was defending his ass off helping at the rim. The Nuggets are just so good at swarming him and forcing him to pass out double teams, which is never his strength. Yeah, I just think that Jokic might just be his dad.
he probably is. I think for Anthony Davis, the best thing is hoping that they play the Suns and that and that they're able to go up against Nurkic rather than Jokic, because
exactly.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. He even like in the Western Conference Finals, AD was up and down, but he did have several games where he had a lot of success throughout the entire game. So I do think that there are going to be moments where he is going to be able to assert himself offensively. And again, we're talking about one half of basketball, right?
Exactly.
We're talking about one half because he still scored 17 in the first. And so obviously, like, that's a different thing. LeBron's playing a little bit different. The whole dynamic is there, but there are things that Anthony Davis can do in places that he can put himself to where he can be successful. Also, 0 for 6, like, listen, he takes a couple shots at the rim. Like, some of those are going to go in. He's going to like be better. It's just...
And that's the problem, though. You said 0 for 6. It's the volume, right? He just couldn't get shots up.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because they're just excellent. Like,
look at me.
My takeaway from this game...
Loki defended AD.
Right.
But
see, I'm not going to. My takeaway from this game is... The Lakers will probably be as good as I expect them to be come playoff time if LeBron gets there. but I also think they have zero fucking chance of being the Nuggets. I think just they have AD's number, and that's kind of just what it is. LeBron's not the old LeBron to be able to make up for it. And like we can switch gears low key and talk about the Nuggets a little bit and how great they were. But I just think the Lakers have zero chance of being the Nuggets in any series, and the Lakers can make a conference finals if they play the Suns or if they play the Warriors or if they play the Kings or someone else like that.
Yeah.
But there's just no chance they're getting past the Nuggets as currently constructed.
It's just all, when it comes down to it, it's going to be about how the standings and all that fizzles out at the end of the season. But no, I agree with you. And it's like, I'm thinking about the last time that they did beat the Nuggets. Of course, like the Nuggets are a different team, but having them big ass trees in the paint and just have big bodies, big hands, long, lengthy people just helps, bro. You know? And also the defense is different too. They have someone like D'Angelo Russell who likes to hijack a lot of things. So it's like, he just looks like a completely different. That's a whole nother issue too. Austin Reeves, he looked lost on defense. And it's just a whole lot to get into. And this team is so different. There's so many things like to work through. And man, the Nuggets are just on another level. And maybe like this is slightly blown out of proportion, but man, the Nuggets are just the Nuggets. Like there's nothing.
Also, you see 2020, they beat them with size and stuff. That's also before Jokic became back-to-back MVP. Like I think it was Jokic Joestar. I saw him make a tweet about it one time. Or maybe it was a TikTok where he said 2020 Jokic was closer to the current day Domantas Sabonis than he is current day Jokic. And I think that's facts.
Wow.
Like they beat Jokic in the bubble before he actually became the caliber player he is today. Where now we're just like he's unguardable. AD is going to be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Doesn't even matter because he gets pissed on by a player who's unguardable. That wasn't the case in 2020. And also, they didn't have Aaron Gordon, who was just physically dominant in his role. Like the fact that he can play off of 2 stars and just do all the dirty work while being his level of athletically gifted. He looks like a monster out there. When he catches these dunks in the dunker spot and goes up with it, I'm just like, how do you compete with a team that has that luxury as like the 4th option?
It's crazy. Yeah, obviously, like the Nuggets are great. They, at least from game 1, they're not interesting right now because they're just rolling. Like I can already see what's gonna happen for the next 4 or 5 months. They're just gonna roll through everybody, and it's like, listen, obviously the Bruce Brown stuff is probably gonna show itself maybe in the playoffs, right? But at the same time, Christian Brown last night played really well. They got a lot of good contributions off the bench, and so for them to pick up like nothing happened, like nothing changed. It's just a testament to them. So like, yeah, they're gonna be the number 1 seed, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, man.
Like I think I'm willing to say they're gonna win the title. I think until proven otherwise, they're gonna win the title.
I think that's fair to say. Like that's not a bad take whatsoever. And you're meant to touch on Christian Braun. He played great, and then on top of that, Peyton Watson, the most random, not most random NBA player, he came out of the draft like a couple years ago from UCLA. Didn't get any minutes last year for obvious reasons. And he came out, he had a big ass block. I forget against who. I think it was against D'Lo maybe. And then on top of that, he also hit a pretty nicely timed 3 in the second half of the game. And so if they can get ounces and glimpses and glimmers from him and Christian Braun and whatever Reggie Jackson's able to produce, they're going to be just fine because all their starting lineup, I think every single player hit 20 points. So it's like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Or
listen,
most of them.
They're a bus off.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, Donovan, you said earlier, like it's just one half. Maybe the Lakers will be fine. I think that's how a lot of teams are going to feel when they play the Warriors. Fan bases are going to play them early in the season. I mean, not the Warriors, the Nuggets. Fan bases are going to face this team early in the season, watch Jokic eviscerate them, and be like, "Oh my God, are we screwed? Are we not going to be a top 5 seed?" That's just life of playing the best team in the league, I think.
Exactly.
One thing that I want to touch on too, I remember a couple of years ago, before Steph like won, I believe maybe it's after he won his unanimous MVP, whatever the case may be, people were like, like one of the greatest shooters of all time, consistently, and they didn't want to stamp him as that. And I think we're in that same exact era and phase when we're talking about Nikola Jokic and his, of course, greatness and also his passing ability and just how effortless it is. And people are saying one of the great big man passes of all time. No, bitch.
Yeah.
He is the greatest big man passer of all time. Let's skip the steps.
Knew that, yeah.
He's that. Yeah. So nationally, we need to cover that.
Listen, people call me a glazer for saying this early. We're going to reach the point where we're going to say he's having one of the best offensive peaks we've ever seen. maybe people need to see another title, see another MVP, maybe just time has to pass. He's in those conversations for me already. I don't think we need to wait any time for it.
Yeah,
My
for
top,
sure.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love Jokic.
Don't ask me a number. I'll get spicy, but he's in the conversation somewhere. We're going to take a quick break from the show so I can take a second to tell you guys about our newest partner, Sleeper. Y'all know the NBA is back, and for me, that means watching, 2 or 3 games a night, maybe even more if I'm feeling crazy. And for me, that also means I want to have some fun while I watch these games, and there's no better place to do that than the Sleeper app. Sleeper is a daily fantasy app that's super easy to use. All you got to do is pick your favorite player stats and decide whether they're going to go higher or lower on that game. You can pick between tons of stats with anything from just simple stuff like points or assists, or you can get advanced and pick combinations of these stats. And it's super easy to play. You can pick stats before the game, or you can do what I do and pick stats at halftime for second half lines. Personally, I like to see if a player is selling or going crazy and then adjusting from there and deciding what they're going to do in the second half. And listen, I know everybody thinks they know ball, and if you actually do, you can show it on the Sleeper app. And you can go big and make entries with like up to 8 stats, or you can keep it simple and go for 2 or 3. Either way, if all your picks hit, you can make big profit in just one night of NBA hoops. And if you want to get in on the action and play alongside us, use code DEEP3 when you sign up for the Sleeper app, and they'll double your first deposit up to $100. Sleeper is available to download and play in 25 different states, and before you get started, make sure you read their terms and conditions before playing. And obviously, goes without saying, play responsibly. And again, use code DEEP3 to double your first deposit up to $100. Now let's get y'all back to the show. Yeah, man. Let's move on to the next game from that night. Suns versus Warriors. Mo, what is one thing you learned from this game?
Devin Booker is underappreciated.
Oh, I like that.
Period. And he might be the best player on that team, bro.
Okay, well, I'll go next. I think one thing I learned is Devin Booker is certainly the best player on that team. And I think I learned that Kevin Durant is old. Not to overreact to one game, but I've been saying it for the past year and a half. He has declined in a way that has been largely ignored because the numbers are still there in the regular season because he hits his mid-range buckets and does Kevin Durant things. But man, he cannot get to the rim at all anymore. We've been saying it for a year and a half. It just keeps getting worse. Like, he looks old, man.
Yeah. It's really crazy because if you can't get to the rim, like obviously the Warriors are still a good defensive team, but like without Draymond on the floor and without a real rim protector, last night was one of those games where if you're Kevin Durant, because do you remember a couple months ago when KD was in that Twitter space with Low? And so they were asking him about his decline in terms of like, attacking the rim, scoring at the rim. And KD was just saying, he was like, listen, like I can get to the rim if I want. Like I'm choosing not to do this. I'm choosing not to do it. I don't
want to. Okay.
Right. Yeah. He's like, listen, if I wanted to get a layup every play, like I could. That's just not the cap. A big cap, because it's just not happening anymore. And I think
shout out Low, man. Twitter eviscerated him and was like, this is the guy y'all go arguing with KD, because he was in there telling him rim pressure is why you're not top 5 anymore. He didn't do a great job of explaining that because it was in the moment. Lots of people were like just fucking yapping at him. He was so right, and Twitter just clowned him and made fun of the way he looks. He is so vindicated.
There was no need for that. There was no need for like the personal shots.
It was so mean, and they're just saying y'all letting him argue with an NBA player. He was so fucking right, bro.
One of the worst narratives that will soon die the second that someone who's capable of getting their thoughts like out to an NBA player and not be frail at the moment is NBA players saying, yeah, like, what do you know about basketball? You never played in high school. You never played in college or any of that, bro. Like, that's one of the worst lines, stigmas, ideas that people can ever have. Just because you don't play something or do something well means that you have no right to speak on it. That's crazy.
People study to be astronauts. They don't go to space until they've already learned everything, but they still find a way to learn things. You know what I mean? Like, you can learn anything if you put enough time into it and study it acutely enough. It's a dumb talking point. You're right.
100%. Can I tell you guys what I learned from this game?
Yeah, please tell me what you learned.
I learned that Chris Paul is going to love Toronto. He does not fit. He does not fit in Golden State. I think that okay, he did improve their bench unit. I feel like for the first time in a while, their bench unit had some direction, and they actually played, like, the bench unit played really well. But when him and Steph are on the floor, and it's him, Steph, and Clay, especially the way Clay has been from last year and it carried over into last night, the offense was clunky. And it didn't flow. You didn't have a lot of movement. I thought it would work a little bit better because, Steph and Clay, they're so great off ball, and you think that if you have the point guard there that it'll work. I think I lost faith in, like, obviously it's going to get better, but in terms of being like a championship formula, I think I lost faith in that last night.
Yeah. I have a few takeaways about the Warriors. Similar thoughts. It's just they have to find the right balance of letting Chris Paul play his game within their offense and then letting him be more of a guy in their cog. And last night, especially in the first half, it just felt too much like the ball was in Chris Paul's hands and Curry was doing his off-ball stuff to try to facilitate that and let Chris Paul get comfortable. And I think there's some validity to that where if you find the best balance of that possible, it could be a new look Warriors that have a different type of variety that we're not used to. But I think it's also going to frustrate the fuck out of some Warriors fans because they're going to watch a lot of games where they're watching the far inferior guard dribble a lot while the best ball handler in the world is sitting in the corner setting screens.
Yeah.
And they got to find that balance without diminishing the greatness of Curry on ball.
Bro,
I think
what is
the
this
balance.
What
has
real
been-
quick? What does this look like whenever? And Mo, I'll ask you this: what do you think this looks like whenever Draymond comes back?
I think things will look a lot better, and I think they'll run a playbook that has already been proven to work in the past. The last player of CP3's archetype that they had was fucking Sean Livingston, you know? And going from Sean Livingston to CP3 is like they're not the same level type of players at all because CP3 is just like an enormous basketball name, one of the most winning players of all time or whatever. But like I think putting him in a similar role, of course, the mid-range game and all that, you can envision how that's going to work. But I think once Draymond is on the courts, it'll be a lot easier to realign things because they'll more so play Warrior ball and they need to figure out how CP3 will fit into their scheme rather than figuring out how the entire team can fit into CP3's scheme. Because at that point, then you're screwing yourself and you're losing your identity and you're bending too much, catering towards him.
Yeah, and to be fair, that just comes with time, right? Like, there's no way they were going to figure that out in night one. CP's far too unique of a player for their system, so you can give them benefit of the doubt and think that'll come with time. But I don't even think that's their biggest problem. I think watching them last night, maybe it's because I was watching Chris Paul and then watching Corey Joseph come in and look exactly like the same guy. They're just the same 6-foot guard. They got two Corey Josephs. They're just such a small, fucking unathletic team. It's crazy. It just looks like they have a team full of Max Struses out there running around playing 1 through 5, just like no verticality and I mean that specifically to Max Strus because like he's a very good player, can shoot the ball well, does things well, but he has no pop. Right? He's not like a physically imposing player. I watched that team after I watched the Nuggets, and what I said about Aaron Gordon coming out, being physically dominant and being able to exert it in the perfect way as a role player. The Warriors need that so bad. They have no pop, no size that is able to play with strength. I guess Kuminga and Wiggins are supposed to be that. Wiggins was not playing with any fire last night. Kuminga looked good. But like maybe Draymond comes back and helps that because he is their interior defense and pushes the pace and stuff. But they're just weak. You know what I mean? Like literally physically.
Just weak. Oh,
No,
man.
I mean, listen, it was true. Listen, Josh Okogie was doing whatever he wanted. He was getting every offensive rebound. He was getting several and ones. They couldn't stop him. And it's like they couldn't stop Yusuf Nurkic, who, and I still think moving forward that Nurkic is cooked. Nurkic was out here looking brolic. He was getting rebounds anytime he wanted.
Bro,
he was
Brolic.
he
they
was
call
able
him
to,
the Bosnian Beast for a reason. He actually did well. Like
no, he lived
He looked
lived
good.
up
We'll
to
get
it,
to that.
yeah.
He looks good.
Yeah, he looked good, and maybe we could take this and transition over to the Suns a little bit. It's just like Phoenix, like Mo said, if Booker is passing like this and he's like underappreciated and he's playing this way, they are going to be a little bit better than what I thought. And adding Bradley Beal to that lineup is, I think I underrated them in the preseason because they're going to be nasty.
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining what it's going to look like with Bradley Beal. I just feel like he's such a player that I can't imagine a fit. So like, I don't know how much better he's going to make them. Probably a good amount. I just can't like envision it in my head before I see it.
yeah,
It's just bucket. That's what I see right now. I just see bucket.
that's super fair to say. But something that I will say is like I already know. I sense the regret slightly in both of you guys' voices. You kind of overlooked just how connective Yusuf Nurkic feels to this team. Does all the dirty work.
I said they
He
would
shot
be.
like 2-3, or he shot 2 threes, made 1, got a block, got 14 rebounds. Now, yes, it's against the Warriors, but Kevon Looney's very capable of getting 20 boards. You know what I'm saying? Not on a consistent basis, but he's done it before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Those aren't
Talk
fake
about
boards. Those aren't fake boards, you
Yeah.
know. And then Nazir Little came out hitting the 3. Josh Okogie, he's a very good connective piece who does a lot of dirty work as well. And Point D Book is something that a lot of people saw actually a couple of years ago, back in the Tyler Ulis days. What a fucking crazy name. But there was a specific year in D-Book's career where they had literally no guard, and he went out and averaged the most random 7 to 8 assists per game in his career. And after that, shit was shut down because they brought in CP3 and they restructured his game a little. But being around CP3 and also having that past experience of being the main dude with the ball in his hands, we're seeing all those things flourish and be the main reason why he's doing things like ending the game with his passing ability, which scouts would have never saw to this day, bro, or would have never assumed.
For sure. Yeah, I think 2 years ago I made a video essay on my channel about Booker, and I talked about how he's like low-key underrated as a passer, just doesn't get to show it that much. Now we're seeing him have the opportunity to show it. And you said he averaged 7 assists back then. But back then, I think that 7 assists was more about usage. I don't think he was like what anybody would call like a great passer then.
Definitely.
But like the tweet we see right now, where you said it on Twitter yesterday, he continues to mold and evolve his game. He's added that to his bag over the years. He hit a pass where he came off a pick and roll, went for his midi, pump faked it, and hit a jump pass to the corner. That is a play Luka Doncic makes routinely, and we all are like, oh my God, one of the best passers I've ever seen. Not Devin Booker's doing that shit because he has to be the point guard. And that's why I agree with your take that he's probably going to be better than KD by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because that's a different level of dynamicness from a guard.
No, it gives them like, one, it kind of solves their problem of who's running point, and the fact that like he can be this guy that like, and I think on any night Booker is going to be able to come out and get 30 whenever he wants, right? And so like if he's there and he's passing that way, and again you insert Bradley Beal for Grayson Allen perchance, who went 0 for 5 in the second half last night, or insert him for Eric Gordon, who went 2 for 7 last night. There's going to be a lot more assist opportunities for Devin Booker. Like, is he going to average, like if we set the over under at like what? Let's say 6.5 assists for Devin Booker this year. What are we taking? Are we taking the over or the under?
That's a good number. I think it'll be like around that actually.
Yeah, I can't confidently say over, but also I don't want to say under either.
I think I might take the over. I like Isaac was saying, that jump pass to the corner last night was crazy. And the fact that it's in his bag now, and even at the end of the game, the pick and roll that he ran to get, I think it was either Nurkic or Eubanks, the shot at the rim. If he's able to manipulate pick and rolls like that, and he's at the top of the key and he's running it, and again you have Beal and Durant, there's just going to be so much space for him. I think he's probably going to be close to like 7 or 8 assists this year.
Man.
I can see that 7 won't be shocking. Yeah, and also on when we're on the passing subject, we talked about like it's still the weakness of this team is they don't have a point guard, they don't really have passing. It's kind of just bucket getters. Mm-hmm. KD looked like pretty good in the passing element. Couldn't score it last night, but he's moving the ball well. We know Booker is going to come and bring that. Beal isn't a black hole, and Nurkic, like Mo said, he was providing some good passing out of the high post. Like, I know not everybody was a fan of that trade when it happened. I think I said I don't love the talent there, but it's an addition by subtraction. Getting somebody there who doesn't need his touches, doesn't need to be a scorer, can just do the dirty stuff and provide you more by providing you less. I think we saw it from Nurkic, specifically because he was clearly just focused on defending, grabbing rebounds, and slinging dimes. And I think I liked the passing he showed.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of good things about Nurkic that doesn't get appreciated enough, and that's for like good reasons, of course. But centers like him have true value in the league, but you just don't get to see it, or at least get to appreciate until you're not there or he's not there. So
yeah,
he's dope. Man.
Yeah, we were looking at the team comparisons just now, and listen, the Warriors are known for having the best ball movement there is. Now they have Chris Paul, a high-level passer who had like 9 assists in this game. They had 19 assists for the whole game as a team. Suns had 23. Suns at 23. If the Suns are going to be moving the ball, listen, no, team assist isn't just like this one-stop metric for passing ability, but it's at least a basic sign that you're moving the ball well if you're having a higher amount of assists. And I don't think anybody expected the Suns to be a team routinely having more assists than their competitor.
Now, something that I will say was there were moments in this game where a lot of the random role players, like sometimes Eric Gordon, definitely Alec, what's that white boy's name again? Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah. Yeah, he just didn't know what to do, and things would just be like really awkward.
Thanks.
And they would just like give the ball back to Devin Booker, and he would have to reorchestrate that entire offense for 0.2 seconds or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, this is very encouraging to see as a Phoenix Suns fan, and you must trust and believe in, the vision that they have with Bradley Beal.
Yeah. My main concern still will be, listen, like I said, they played the Warriors without Draymond, who's a miniature team with no rim defense. I'll be interested to see how much offense they can consistently drive against teams that actually have an interior force. Because, listen, they're playing the Lakers next. You got Anthony Davis down there, one of the best rim defenders in the league. And this team's offense will only go as far as rim pressure allows it to go. Because, listen, they're going to be a good jump shooting team. You can't be a consistent offense without getting to the rim. The only ones we've seen do that in recent years is the Warriors, and they won a championship. And they're the fucking Warriors.
Yeah.
So, time will tell. I guess we'll learn a lot from this next game against the Lakers about both teams.
100%. 100%.
Let's move on to the East Coast and talk about the game we just watched earlier today. Knicks versus Celtics. Donovan, we saw your team fake comeback and lose in sad fashion. What is one thing you learned?
I learned three things about the Celtics. I learned that one, well, maybe not learn, but one, Jason Tatum.
Man's gonna hog all the things.
I am. Listen. Tatum, fire. Porzingis, fire. Also, when those two are going, when the whistle that they got is going the way that it was.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, they're gonna win the chip. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stand on something real quick. The second half whistle that the Celtics got was crazy, and there's no reason. I mean, they were getting some bull calls, man. I'm so frustrated because they really were able. They were bailed out several times by the latest whistles I've ever seen. Shout out to them, right? You won on the road. You got bailed out. Thank you. Thank you.
This tweet's hilarious. Yeah, I see what you mean. The one thing I learned is
shout out to the Zebras.
Kristaps Porzingis is a better fit for Jason Tatum than Jaylen Brown ever could be. The spacing I saw Jaylen Brown, I just said the same name twice. The spacing I saw Jason Tatum operate with because of Kristaps Porzingis and the 5-out offense unlocked him to a new level. He dropped over 30, and I swore after the first half ended, I was like, he might go for 50. Like, this is nuts. Every play, they ran pick and pop. The Knicks were running a deep drop and low-key switching it. Jason Tatum just attacked Mitchell Robinson with no help in sight because of 5-out spacing, and he just terrorized him. I swear probably 17 of his 34 points were on Mitchell Robinson, just putting him in hell because he had no help because every other Celtic is beyond the three-point line.
It's great. He was cooking.
One thing that I learned is that my hypothesis was right. Big white man in Celtics jersey equals abundance of buckets. I don't make up the rules. It is what it is. The sooner you'll accept it, you won't be surprised.
You're right.
We're just simple observers of the game, and it's an undefeated tactic by the Celtics. Sign the biggest, best white you can find, and you're going to be cooking.
Facts. I've never seen someone like Luke Cornett be actually useful in a fucking basketball game, but he proved to be useful last season. Look at Kristaps Porzingis. He's having an out of body experience. He's going to this season, bro. All-star Porzingis for sure.
Yeah, man. Like I said, that 5-out spacing is just so good. And I love the lineups whenever it was Horford and Kristaps both out there with Jaylen and Jason, because you get the 5-out spacing still, and you get two big bodies defending the rim. In the first half, I think the story of the game was their defense was just locking the Knicks down. We saw them in the second half come back because the Celtics kind of went cold in the third quarter, which, they're a team with two new quote-unquote stars in the mix. It's going to happen. You're going to have some cold spells while you get used to each other. But that defense, man, what do you think about that, Donovan?
Listen, I think that they have the best defensive backcourt in the league, easy. And the fact that they're able to put White and Holiday so far up. I mean, they were able to just trade off ball handlers whenever somebody's bringing the ball up the floor, and then just line up Porzingis, Brown, and Tatum just all on the back line. So it's like, yeah, you can take 10 seconds to get up the floor, but now you have 14 seconds and just all this length right there at the free throw line that you have to get through. And it makes everything extremely tough. And like for a team like the Knicks and Jalen Brunson, who's very like, first off, the offense is very ISO heavy as it is. And so for Brunson, who's undersized and you have to go through all of that, all that pressure, and then Julius Randle, who, you know, has similar. I don't know. You know,
I'm looking at this team comparison right here,
please.
And at the points in the paint thing at the bottom, Boston had 42 and the Knicks had 24. That's going to be the story of why the Celtics are going to be incredible this year. Because like I said, 5-out spacing, Tatum is going to eat at the rim every fucking play. And with that duo of Horford and Kristaps locking up the paint, and then Tatum helping at the nail, which means sliding over to the free throw line to defend drives. He's the best at that in the league, I think. Yeah. That trio of defensive players is going to make them have a really good rim defense while having a really good rim offense. That's how you win games in the NBA.
Look at the blocks. They beat the Knicks in blocks 11-0. Right?
You can't block a shot if your center's outside of the paint. It's crazy.
11-0 on blocks. And those were immediately, those blocks and their steals were immediately able to turn into transition points. They beat the Knicks 18-7 in fast break points. They're able to turn defense into offense so quickly that it's going to give them an advantage every single night just because of the pressure that they're able to put on with their guards. They're going to be fantastic. This defense is going to carry them. Like, they're going to be top 5 in both categories.
Seeing these numbers and just how like disruptive they seem to appear to be, not seem to appear, they literally are disruptive, is very frightening, you know what I'm saying, for so many teams. And there's only like maybe 1 or 2 teams out there that are built to counteract all the eliteness that's going on for the Boston Celtics on all 4 fronts of the defensive line, the back line, front line, whatever way you want to slice it. It's going to be a hell of a task to try to consistently get quality looks off on this team when there's just so much length, so much lateral quickness, and all that surrounded everywhere, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this game made me see the vision more. I've been very tentative to like crown the Celtics over the Bucks because I think the Bucks are gonna be incredible too, which we'll see tomorrow. A few more games like this, and I'll quickly be like, all right, maybe they'll be better than the Bucks, unless we see the Bucks also dominate like we think they could. But I'm more receptive to it now than I was yesterday.
No, they're going to be good. As for the Knicks, tomorrow we're on the line. We're running. They also missed. They were 14 of 26 from the free throw line. You missed 12 free throws in this game. Quentin Grimes had a crucial free throw that he missed on a 4-point play. Julius Randle's 1 for 6 from the free throw line. I need everybody on the baseline. 6 a.m. I'm gonna have the whistle. On hand. Up downs. And until somebody can make 10 straight free throws and do what Ben Simmons was doing in practice, we're not leaving the gym. We're not, because that was ridiculous.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't feel that bad about the Knicks if I was a Knicks fan. The first half offense was horrific. They were playing a great defense I've never seen before. First game of the season, Russ coming off. I think I saw Pierre from Through the Wires tweet. He was like, this offense is just everybody watching one dude cook while 4 other people stand around. That's exactly how I felt. Jalen was doing Jalen stuff. Well, everyone else is like, damn, look at Brunson cook. And it was just like not good.
That's what it is. It's an ISO heavy offense. And it's like when you play teams, that one are able to switch effectively, and then every single bringing that amount of pressure to the ball with Holiday and White, it just makes everything so much harder. And it makes the Knicks, like, you look at them and you're like, okay, they are a move away. And there's been rumors about, going out and getting Embiid. It's been cat talk, right? We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But like, they have to get another piece to kind of make this offense a little bit more dynamic.
Structurally, I think we all agree and understand that this team has a specific ceiling. They're a tough, kind of grinded out team, but with the type of players that they have, and also their head coach and how their head coach tends to stylistically play, there's gonna need to be some roster reconstruction before anyone like places any
100%.
serious expectations around a team like the New York Knicks. You know, they like a lot of hard-nosed, grimy ass players and all that, which will take you a long way, and you'll fucking win a lot. Well, win a lot of tough games, or a few tough games at the very least. But you can only go so far with that play style, you know.
Now we sold tonight.
I think Cat is exactly what they need. I know
That's
Diamond would
okay.
hate it. I would love to see Karl Anthony Towns with the Knicks. Honestly, I think we can transition this to talk about the Timberwolves game a little bit. But I think Cat would be perfect for Jalen Brunson. Having that pick and pop threat that can pop and then catch the ball, attack closeouts, would give them the type of dynamicness they need. So listen, Mitchell Robinson's dope. I like him a lot. I like him a decent amount. He's not dynamic with the ball in his hands, or dynamic as a roll threat either. So when they run a pick and roll, it quickly devolves into an ISO because you just got to sell out on Jalen because he's not going to have a second partner in that action to like make you like respect. The Cat would fix that problem, I think.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just not going to manifest that.
Listen,
So.
Cat
All right, man.
or
Let's-
Embiid.
let's-
Y'all
You're
can
gonna have to
discuss
live
it.
with
I'm
it.
not talking about that.
Okay, let's fly through their game and then we'll get to Wemby. I learned from the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves played the Raptors, a team we don't have high hopes for. The Timberwolves are a team that we have mixed amount of hopes for. I predicted them to be the team that falls out of the play-in at 11 seed. You guys had them a little bit higher. General NBA consensus is that the Timberwolves should be a good team. I think everybody who thinks that they'll be a top 5 team in the West simply has a crush on Anthony Edwards. Watching this game, it was the same team I watched last year be fucking nonsense on offense because they have 2 centers who want to stand in the same place. I learned from this game that Karl Anthony Towns must be traded because you're never going to find an offense that works with him and Rudy Gobert in the same team. Never.
Listen, it's what we've been saying. It's what we've been saying for a year now. And Ant had a good game, and this is kind of the story. This is
He
what we
took
thought.
27 shots and hit 20. He had 26 points. That's gross.
Listen, what do
was
you
cold.
want
He
him
was
to
cold.
do? What do you want him to do? tell
There's
me.
2 trees in the paint. He can't do shit. No, he had a poor shooting game, but
Sorry.
it's just what makes Karl Anthony Towns good is you run a pick and pop with him. If the center goes down to the paint with the guard, you kick it out to Cat, best big man shooter in the league. If the center comes up, Cat is really good at using his ball handling and attacking them off the dribble and getting to the rim. He scored 60 against the Spurs simply because he just terrorized Jakob Poeltl and ran past him every play. He can't run past anybody and get anywhere when Rudy Gobert is standing in the dunker spot going like this. There's no way that team can work constructing themselves around Cat's skills. They have him standing on the perimeter like he's Kevin Durant, just like spotting up, about to fucking go that boy nice ball. And that's not Cat's game. He has to be going up and downhill, getting the ball fed to him.
Like, that could be his game if you want to win 38 games a year, but that's not the type of trajectory that they want to go ahead and head towards. As you said, like, I think I said this last year, they're going to, in order for them to right their wrongs and not look horrific as a franchise, you have to get rid of the guy who you once thought was your franchise player, Karl Anthony Towns, in order to enter this next wave, next phase of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And you know what I'm saying, it's just a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow, and they're gonna force this. I wonder how long they're gonna force this, but hopefully it's not much longer. Hopefully, you know, they go ahead and get an appeasing, enticing offer, because this is holding back their entire roster, bro. Anthony Edwards can't do shit. Mike Conley's old as hell. What the hell do you want him to do? You just gave McDaniels 136 or 46 million dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's a heavy investment. You just re-sign Naz Reid. Like, all their moves are indicating towards, or at least it feels like it, one of these big dudes have to move, and Cat might be that man out.
Bro, they're going to be a second luxury tax apron team, which means they can't. There's a lot of limitations to your roster building when you hit that level of payment, and they're maybe going to be a play-in team. Because, like I said, because they gave Jaden McDaniels $27 million a year. The team's just too expensive to keep together unless you're going to be contending for a championship, which I don't think anybody after tonight is disillusioned to thinking that's going to happen.
No, they. You know what? I'm gonna stand on until they trade Cat and fix everything. They will miss. They will be out of the playing race.
Let's go.
You know,
That's my night one declaration.
Love it.
That's hard. I love that. I agree with you too. But something that JJ Redick pointed out on his podcast I was watching earlier today, Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert went ahead and played I think they played like 119 minutes together in the playoffs last season and like 127 minutes together throughout the entirety of the regular season because of Karl Anthony Towns' injuries. And we haven't seen much of them together. And he was holding on to you the belief that they will figure it out. They will make things work eventually. And I'm just like, the math again is like not mathing. No matter how long you're holding on to it, you're diminishing Karl Anthony Towns' trade value because the whole league's gonna look at him as trash when he's not really that trash. So it's like,
listen, I respect JJ Redick saying that. He's a good dude. He's positive. He's a player. He comes from the perspective of wanting to respect players and give people benefit of the doubt because he knows what it's like to be in a locker room and be shit on by people like us in chairs that just be like, oh, you guys suck, you can't do it. When there's a lot more complicated than that, and there's, you know, personality aspects, X's and O's, all this stuff. It's his job to give people benefit of the doubt. It's not my job to fucking care about that. There's no, I don't care like how many minutes you watch this team together. There's no indication or any positive sign that they're going to figure out that fit just by giving themselves more time. I think that's just going to be more time to run into a brick wall. And like you said, eventually see that they have to trade him while he has trade value.
Yeah, we've seen everything that we've needed to see. And this experiment
we knew
is not
before the
gonna
trade
work.
happened.
That's
we knew
true.
beforehand.
That's true.
it doesn't
Wow,
matter.
they really fumbled. They fumbled like crazy.
Stupid.
We can move on, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good Anthony Edwards can be because stylistically, bro, you're holding him back at the end of the day, and he'll never be the superstar we want him to be with just how clunky that offense is.
Facts. And listen, bro, it's just one game. Maybe we're overreacting in the sense because it is one game. Maybe they'll come out and prove us wrong. If I'm going to overreact to anything, this is what I'd rather overreact to. I'm willing to stake the claim here that they're not going to be good.
Do you
If
want to
I'm
talk
wrong,
about the
cold takes expose me. I'll live.
Do you want to talk about the Toronto Raptors at all? Anything y'all learned?
No.
No, I don't care.
I don't care either. They're a mid team who beat a bad team. So it's like, congratulations.
You know, honestly, you know what's crazy? The Raptors should be the team that the Timberwolves should have the best chance against. The way you expose the Timberwolves is by stretching out Cat, attacking him with speed and ball handling on the perimeter. The Raptors don't have any of that. They're a bunch of big dudes who get to the rim and have like a game based on like length rather than speed. That should be the perfect team for the Timberwolves to expose, and they still got clapped. It's crazy.
Yeah, they suck.
Man.
they suck. That's it.
Yeah, I will say Scotty Barnes looked good, and I know we like to make fun of him a lot, and the fact that he might be Tyreek Evans. Mostly joking because we don't care about the Raptors because Raptors fans have like an inferiority complex and it's funny to play on it. But part of the reason Cat was so shitty is because Scotty Barnes locked him down. So props to him.
That's very funny.
I'm already tired of talking about the Raptors, bro. Yeah, that was the craziest thing.
Mo hates the Raptors.
I just don't know why I do, bro. I just feel sorry.
You're the reason they have that complex because people were just like, fuck them for no reason. No, but I didn't gain much from that. Schroeder had a good game. He scored 22. I think he's a type of player that can cook against two slow-footed bigs and not a lot of good point guard defense. So I honestly was watching closer to the Timberwolves, so I didn't get a lot of takeaways on the Raptors. So I wouldn't say I don't care. I just don't have much to say about them.
I will say I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. We can move on. We can move on to the real star of the night, to Wemby, whose game just finished.
Star of the night.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's Wemby. It's his night. It's his league now. Like,
God, bro,
it's his world. We're just living in it. Yo, this guy's crazy, man. This guy's crazy. And like, if it wasn't for foul trouble, he scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, and everyone's like, is he going to single-handedly like win the game for them right now? Like, this is insane. Like, if Keldon Johnson didn't feel like running his head into a brick wall for 4 straight plays, they probably could have got that game.
Yeah. The one thing I learned from this game, I'm worried about the Mavs.
Oh, yo.
Spurs. Listen, Wemby was in foul trouble, and the first half had 6 points. It was a close game the whole game, and the Spurs were leading most of the game, led by mostly just Devin Vassell and Jeremy Sohan going sicko mode. Like, the Mavs do not strike fear in me in any way. I think they all have... It's similar to the Warriors, where they just have so little size and tenacity defensively or athleticism from any of their lineup outside their two lead guards. Besides Derek Lively, who's very impressive, I think most of the top of the show, I just don't know where they're going to get juice from. Firepower on either end of the court.
Man, I said this in my season's predictions, this is going to be the team that misses out in the playoffs. The fact that they had to fight for their life against a team who many of us believe aren't going to make the playoffs because of the current state of their organization or the rebuild or whatever. Yo, it took a Luka dagger and a clutch Kyrie Irving thing for them to go ahead and like seal everything shut. That is alarming. Now, yes, Grant Williams did his thing, put up 17 points. Kyrie Irving did Kyrie Irving things. Derek Lively was phenomenal, chef kiss type good, you know. But at the end of the day, he's a rookie. I don't know how consistent we believe he can be when it comes to this. Mm-hmm. And yo, they have by far the worst front court. They have, by far the worst front court in the NBA. Or not in the NBA, my bad. In the Western Conference specifically. And I don't know how they'll be able to hold up when they go against the ADs, Jokic's, Jaren Jackson Jr.'s, etc.'s of the world. You know? So
they're not. they're not going to be able to hold up because listen, they gave up like what was that? I think they gave up 68 points in the first half. And again, Wemby was in a little bit of foul trouble. He wasn't even dominating like that. And as great as he was, he's not an interior force at this point in his career. I don't know if he's ever going to be like, you know, dominant like that whenever you think about Wemby. And so, when, like Mo said, when you start playing those interior forces, like a Denver, a Lakers, right? Teams like that, they are going to get cooked and embarrassed because their front line is just not good. And it's going to take triple doubles from Luka every single night for them to even be competitive. And so like Isaac was saying, he's worried. I'm worried too. We put them in the last spot of the play-in just out of respect for Luka, but they might miss this. They let
San Antonio score 43 points in the first quarter. They haven't done that in ages, like 2 years, 3 years, whatever it might be. Still feels like ages. That should let us know how cooked they are.
And they won this game in the fourth quarter. They pulled out a tough win, like you said, a Luka dagger, and it was honestly like a typical Luka masterclass. He had a 37-point triple double.
Stupid.
Or what was the points? I don't remember, but it was a triple double.
It's 33 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists.
Great Luka game. You still barely beat the Spurs. And what was Kyrie Irving's stat line? See, he was 10 for 24 from the field for 22 points.
1 of 8 from 3. So like that's gonna come up obviously. But like,
what do you need from Kyrie on a consistent basis? If Luka's gonna do Luka things, average his near 30-point triple double, what do you need from Kyrie to make up for the rest of this roster? And can you get that while Luka's doing his thing?
Honestly, 25? I feel like you need probably 25 to 28 because I'm not going to rely on Derek Lively to give me 17 or 16 points and also Grant Williams to give me 15 to 17 points a game and shoot 4 for 8 from 3. He did great, did his thing, but there's just like you're so reliant. They're super frail and they're extremely thin on the front lines. So they're going to need a lot from Kyrie, especially on the defensive end too, which is hard to ask.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a lie. Tim Hardaway also had a bad game. It's weird because you kind of see everything with the Mavs in this game. Like you saw their deficiencies on the front line, but then you also saw a little bit of good in Derek Lively. You saw a really good Grant Williams game, but then Tim Hardaway was 3 of 10 from 3, right? Kyrie was doing some things offensively, but then also there's like the 1 for 8 thing and like the defensively he wasn't. He's like not, stout and everything. So while they clearly have like improvements that they can make, I feel like the average of the season is probably going to be a lot of what we saw tonight. And that's a problem because like we keep saying, when you play teams who are better than the Spurs, which last year was like 13 teams, you are going to have issues. And so, yeah, I'm actually really worried about Dallas. I think that might be my like biggest overreaction.
Yeah, it's the most discouraging win of any of the teams that won tonight. It's like 100%. You won, but there's no way you feel good about it as a Mavs fan.
Or could that be us underrating how good the Spurs might be? I don't know.
I don't think
personally, yeah, I do think the Spurs will take a step in the right direction. The rebuild, Devin Vassell is gonna continue to prove, you know what I'm saying, he can be one of the cornerstone pieces for this organization. He better be. They gave him this fat ass bag, and he had a fantastic performance. Jeremy's going to be doing fantastic things for them as well. Keldon Johnson is Keldon Johnson. Whatever you want to make out of that, do you, bro. But the Spurs are good. They did their thing. But at the same time, it's not that hard to do your thing against a front line like this at the end of the day.
Man, let's talk about Wemby.
Let's do it.
Enough of the Mavs. Let's talk about Victor Wembanyama. So obviously it wasn't the most exciting first game. First half, only 6 points. He had 2 threes early on. I was like, oh, nice. Got into foul trouble. Had to come out for most of the third quarter. Like you said, he had a 9-point flurry in the fourth quarter. I think this was kind of quintessential rookie game. We just kind of got conditioned by the preseason to expect him to be a star immediately. But we saw everything you expect from a rookie that drafted first, right? Flashes in the first quarter. Inconsistency, trying to find his way, getting into foul trouble because it's a hard speed to adjust to. Then the flashes again. Are you all surprised by this at all?
No. Not really. Like I don't know what my expectations. I mean, actually, I do know my expectations were high, but they were higher on the defensive end than offensively. Like Wemby can come out, he could score 10 or he could score 20, and I wouldn't be really phased. I think where I'm really, really impressed and just like, wow, is that every other night he's blocking the shot where he's face backwards and, from the 3-point line. It's just something stupid like that. And he had a block early on in the game where I was like, oh yeah, like he's going to be making a difference defensively. But I don't know. It wasn't, like you said, it wasn't anything crazy. It was good. He had some good moments. He had some bad moments. I think game 2, when he's not in foul trouble, we're going to basically see the whole spectrum. He did a very good job. I think offensively, he did a very good job filling the lane in transition and being like a very big target, obviously at the rim. San Antonio missed him a lot. And I think that's something that we're going to see moving forward is he's going to get 6 points a night, just running the floor, catching a lob and, turning around and putting the ball in the basket. So
yeah, I'm amazed at how good he is at running the fast break already, and his awareness to just fill the lanes is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see this type of awareness that often, and his feel for the game is OD high. So Wemby did exactly what Wemby should be doing. I think as his teammates get better, specifically learning to feed him. And like you said earlier, Donovan, whenever Keldon Johnson just doesn't decide to be 2038 Russell Westbrook and just run straight to the paint with like no intentions, no hops, just running. You know what I'm saying? They'll be better. When Jeremy Sohan knows to just pass the ball to Wemby towards the late end of the game, they'll be better. So
yeah, I agree. All right, man. Those are the 4 main games we want to talk about. I think, or we talk about 5 now. I think after this, we're going to hit every game right now, and we're going to talk about what our takeaways from each. Let's rapid fire through the rest of them because, we can only watch so many games in one night. So nice. A lot of this was just pieces we were able to gather. First game of the rapid fire round. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder beat the shit out of the Bulls and forced them to have a players-only meeting after the first night.
How embarrassing.
What did you learn, Mo?
Yo, I learned absolutely nothing other than they are cooked. They have not learned their lesson. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, I learned that Shai is not overrated. People were quick to say that he's getting too much hype. People were pushing him in the top 10 conversations before he quote unquote does anything in the league. And I think we're going to see the same Shai this year come out and be one of the best scorers in the league, leading a playoff team. The Bulls are on pace for 82 players only meetings this year. That's a hilarious tweet.
Great tweet. Yeah, I'm with y'all. I think we learned that the Bulls need to blow it up right now. Find any trade partner that you can. Whatever they've been doing for the last 3 years is just destined for mid. And it's just at this point it might be worse than mid because again, players only meeting on night 1. That's turmoil. Somebody's getting fired and somebody's not coming back next year.
Yeah, it's not going well. But listen, we're all pretty high on the Thunder. I think me the least of all. I think they'll probably be more like an 8 seed. A lot of people, I think maybe one of you guys project them to be like making that top 6 seed type of leap. If that's where you're going with the season predictions, good first night for you.
It's a great first night for the Thunder. Everybody did it. Also, they have to make a move. They're gonna have to make a move because having Shea, and then the other three kind of like wings on top of Chet. And listen, Lou Dort, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Lou Dort. You might not be here next year.
Wait,
I'm just saying it right now.
Enlighten me a little bit more. Why do you think they have to like make a move like so soon?
So I think that this lineup of like having basically 4 wings and Chet, I think that it has a ceiling, and I think that they can get a little bit more dynamic. And like if Giddey isn't like Giddey, what did he shoot tonight? He was 2 of 3 from 3, so like not bad. If he can take that leap, then maybe somebody can stay. But I think that they're gonna need more shooting because like Shea is not a shooter like that, and he's gonna be on ball. I don't think Giddey is ever gonna be knocked down, right? We'll see how J-Dub's 3 how his shot develops. I just feel like they're gonna need a little bit more space, and it's like if you have 37 first round picks or 37 draft picks over the next 5 years, you can afford to overpay for somebody to get somebody in there that maybe fits your lineup and gives your team a little bit more, dynamic. I don't know what the word is.
Dynamicism or whatever.
Thank you. Yeah.
Dynamics. I don't know. What are the words? I think I made that word up actually.
It sounds right though. It low-key sounds right.
Yeah, you're right though. Whenever the Raptors blow it up, this team needs to go all in and get OG Anunoby. They need a big wing who can space the floor and be a big defender.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, need him bad.
And you know what Masai Ujiri's gonna say as soon as they offer up 6 first round picks? No. Go to hell. Blocked. Never talk to me again.
They can do that. They can do that though. Bro, the Thunder can give Toronto 6 first round picks and still have like 27 draft picks. You can't even use all of that. Go ahead, overpay for somebody. It's fine.
Facts. Also, a player on their bench, Ujman Dang or Jang, I don't know how exactly you say it. Mm-hmm. He was 3 for 5 from 3. He's a big wing type player. I don't have a good feel for how good of a defender he's going to be yet. But they had a tall guy who get in spacing tonight, and that was a relative question mark. I think coming into this year is can he fill that role? First night, he's doing it well.
Yep. Also, my guy Isaiah Joe, 3 of 6 from downtown. He's going to be the
Isaiah
sniper.
Joe things.
He did his thing.
He's going to be the sniper.
All right, man. Next team we got the Atlanta Hawks lost to the Charlotte Hornets. Mo, you go first. This is your team. What did you learn about this game?
Takeaway 1, Trae Young reverted to playing like Julian Newman. Take 2 that I learned, Jalen Johnson is basically LeBron James. But on a serious note, Nate McMillan can go to hell. Okay, for real. Sorry. I ain't mean it. But the Atlanta Hawks. Bro, you had Jalen Johnson on this roster for so like 3 years. And he ain't get no burn for real, bro. The slightest glimpse that we saw last year, fans like me were yelling out Jalen Johnson, and he's coming out different. I couldn't say shit for real. He averaged like 3-5 points a game. Who might have yelled out some random ass role player who looks like every other player in the NBA, Jalen Johnson? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just so random. But seeing him put up 21 points and just be that brute athletic force that every team in the NBA seems to need nowadays, fills so many gaps. It makes me feel so good that this team is making a step in the right direction. You know, of course, I want to say that Quinn Snyder has made an emphasis towards having emotion offense and all this other stuff. And tonight, nights like this, we reverted to 2021, 2022, 2023 Hawks basketball. Trae Young just DOI. Like, I saw this one play where he just took the ball off rip and he tried to get a foul and he was looking around and he just chucked that bitch up and it barely hit the front of the rim, bro, and he missed terribly. It was just like a terrible game. Everyone else played well except for him and DeJounte. Just like, they just need to swing that bitch more, bro, and then they'll be fine. Like,
yeah. I don't feel like you can take much from this first game. I think a lot of times you see a lot of teams have cold starts this season because you got to knock the rust off, get into the groove of the regular season. I think that's what you saw tonight. DeJounte and Trae were just horrendous. They're not going to normally be horrendous. So even if you don't like the team, I don't feel like you can take a lot from tonight because your game, you're not going to take anything away from a game where your two best players are absolute non-factors.
Exactly.
Good or bad, you can't learn shit.
Exactly. Listen, they shot 17% from three. You're gonna have those nights. So it's fine.
Happens.
However, for the Hornets though, Nick Richards looked solid tonight. He looked very good.
You know who else did? PJ Washington.
He looked fantastic. Yeah,
He looked good.
He played like rent was due tomorrow.
I don't know his shooting splits. I like what I saw from Brandon Miller. He looked like he fit pretty well. The way he was moving, getting his shots up, it was good. If you see his stats, you see exactly what he scored.
Yeah, I liked his confidence at the end of the game was fantastic. He hit
13 points.
He hit like two really big threes for them towards the end. God, I cannot talk. He hit two big threes for them towards the end of the game. So like, exactly. That's how I'm feeling.
Man, someone else who I liked. Yeah, it is a late night. For me, let me go ahead and expose this information. It's almost 2 a.m. that we're recording this podcast right now. If you haven't liked this or given this a 5-star, you should be ashamed of yourself. We are grinding.
For the love of the game.
Yo, we do it for the love of the game. Isaac and Donovan and producer Nikhil trying to get me out the hood, and you should be too. Making all these rap jokes, but you ain't standing on business trying to get me out the hood. What is wrong with you, man? I see what type of person you are.
And then it's going to be edited and ready for you guys tomorrow morning.
God, bro. Exactly. We're on our grind, bro. On our grind. Speaking of grind, Mark Williams. I fucking love the way he played today, bro. Or last night, bro. He is proving to be one of the cornerstone pieces of the Charlotte Hornets. One of the young players that they should definitely absolutely roll with and package up with LaMelo and focus on what other players will be complementing to these guys' game. You know what I'm saying? So I think he put up like 13 points and 15 rebounds, an absolute menace on the defensive end, being disruptive while also making all the easy plays and catching all these offensive rebounds when Clint Capella and all them boys are sleeping. He did great, bro. And he is a player that I'm looking forward to just continue to do great things this season.
Yeah. Shout out to Mark Williams. Listen, I predicted the Hornets to be a surprisingly good team to some people. I think they'll be like the 9th seed or something. Good start. Let's move on to the next game. We got to rapid fire through like 6 more games. The Rockets, man. They played the Magic.
Ass!
What were they cooking this offseason? They looked horrible.
Tell me.
Did you guys get to watching this game?
No, I was locked in on a whole bunch of
Great. I
of
watched
other
the first quarter. I watched the first quarter, and then I was skipping through all the games tonight. But I watched the entirety of the first quarter. It was a 4:00 game for me. First thing I watched. They just fucking suck right now.
Gotcha.
Fred VanVleet was a big addition. He went into it clearly starting the game, wanting to be the point guard, facilitating, moving things around. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say my one takeaway: they fucking suck right now. That's it. Yeah, Fred VanVleet came into the game wanting to be the point guard, facilitating, wasn't trying to get his own shot. Ended the first half with 2 points. He came out in third quarter and got his because he had to step things up. He was trying to clearly put the ball in Jalen Green's hands, Alperen Sengun's hands. One of those players looked good. It was not Jalen Green. Jalen Green started the game with 2 turnovers, just bobbling the ball and dropping it out of bounds. They played through Sengun more, which is nice. Their old coach refused to do it. He thought he was a gadget role player. Ime is playing through Sengun as a hub, and it looks good. That's the best stuff they do is when that happens. Outside of that, nothing looked good. Amen looked like a rookie. Fred VanVleet looked too passive. We'll see that get better. Jalen Green looked like old Jalen Green from last year. Dylan Brooks is Dylan Brooks. There was no positive signs tonight.
Wait, does this say that Dylan Brooks was their leading scorer?
At 14 points. That's not a big number.
That's trash. That's trash.
Yeah.
That's trash. Shout out Orlando though. We're all Magic Hive over here.
They did their thing.
Franz looked fantastic.
Yeah, I caught a lot of highlights on my timeline on Twitter and just read through the lines and all that. But one thing I can say is like, yo, if Paolo Banchero is only getting up 6 shots and they still blow this team's back out by 20 points, there's some serious issues over there at Houston. Houston, we have a problem, quite literally.
They beat them by 30.
Oh, 30. Oh my God. That makes my heart so sad for them. That makes my heart so sad for them. But one random thing that I want to say that I saw online that came from this game is Jonathan Isaac just came out of fucking nowhere. I forgot that. I always forget that he's an NBA player. I think of him as a pastor. He's he's a Fox News like rotating anchor at this point in my mind. I forget that he's an actual NBA player and he's a defensive menace. But seeing that block that he got against Jalen Green moves me, and it just made this team even more dangerous in my head.
Yeah. Franz Wagner looked really good in the first quarter. He had three plays. He hit 2 pull-up threes and threw a dime to Wendell Carter on the roll. I think he looks incredibly comfortable as a ball handler, seeing things as they happen and dissecting a defense. I'm real excited what it looks like whenever him and Paolo get into games where they're actually like competitive and they have to try hard. That combination with Wendell excites me.
Ah, man, that big three is going to be one of my favorite big threes. And I think, like, if many of you saw on the season previews, I see them being a playoff team this year.
Same here. Same. Nice.
Right, man. Let's keep the rapid fire going. One game that I didn't get to watch at all, so this would be extreme rapid fire. Miami barely beat the Pistons. And the only thing I can take away, because I didn't get to watch the game, I'm glad Cade Cunningham looks like he's making that leap in the first game at least. 30 points, 9 assists. I so badly need Cade Cunningham to be the star he came into the league thinking that he could be. I have a lot of stock in him, and I hope it pays off.
Yeah, this is one of those games I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I didn't get a chance to see a lot of it. What I will say is I saw that Miami was up very big in this game, and they blew the lead at home. Listen, you only score 103 against the Pistons. You're already starting the season off scary hours for Miami. These are the games that you're gonna have to win and be very comfortable in. And if you're squeaking these out against Detroit, it's the same thing that we're talking about with Dallas. It's gonna get a lot harder from here. So I was very, very down on Miami coming into this season. They got the win, right? I guess this is what the Heat do, right? They grind things out, but they're going to have to figure out a way to actually score because 103 is not going to get it done.
Yeah. Also, they started Killian Hayes over Jaden Ivey, which I know something they toyed with in the preseason. I get it. They probably want Jaden Ivey to get more touches with the second unit. I think that's how you maximize him. Instead of playing him next to Cade, you might as well play the guard next to him that doesn't need the ball in his hands as much. You don't need Killian to get his touches. But, like, why the fuck would you draft Jaden Ivey if not to play next to Cade? I don't understand that move.
Like, just one of those things to where you can't really fault them because they did a good job with bringing in Monty Williams. He is a good coach, or at least he's been proven to be a good coach over the last few years. But there's a clear disconnect when you just draft someone last year as a top 4 or 5 pick and you decide to bring him off the bench for someone who's been memed on TikTok as a certified bust, and he's known for nothing but looking good and also giving you a ton of bricks on the court. Killian Hayes. He does not deserve an opportunity, to be honest with you, to start. And there hasn't.
He's been better.
Has he?
Even okay. He's had a decent preseason. I don't want to shit on Killian.
That is true.
He's been all right. I think the first half of what you said is what I agree with. It's a disconnect that, like, clearly Monty doesn't have that. He doesn't care that Jaden Ivey was drafted high. He didn't make that pick. And I feel like that's the disconnect you're talking about. We saw what Monty did to DeAndre Ayton. He doesn't give a shit about draft capital.
Yeah,
I think you should. I think you should see if Jaden Ivey can start next to Cade before you just throw it away.
I don't know, man. I just disagree with just putting Jaden Ivey on the bench because the entire goal for him, if you're a head coach and you should be like projecting towards the future, you have nothing to lose. What the fuck? Like, why are you? Yeah, I want to go ahead and I want Cade to have the ball in it. Like, you're not going to lose anything by starting Jaden Ivey alongside of him. Like, yeah, sure.
You got to see what you got, right?
Exactly.
You got to see if it works first.
Exactly. I think my biggest thing is like young players and opportunity and shit like that. And this is just like Killian Hayes is one of those young players where he just doesn't deserve to have another chance anymore at starting at least. He just doesn't deserve it, bro. Jaden Ivey does
Nikhil's pulling up all these tweets about all these Pistons fans that are like, oh my God, Killian sucks. Shout out Kofi. Kofi said, Monty Williams has picked the Killian Hayes agenda, which means we're in for a long season.
Yeah, man, exactly. Like, it just doesn't. I just hate it when organizations or coaches, whoever you want to pinpoint this to, the situation, the coach just puts young player like Jaden Ivey in the worst position possible for him to grow and develop as a player. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Let's move on. Oh, one team I don't even want to talk about because I didn't see a look about it. The Pacers lost. The Pacers blew out the Wizards. I saw Daniel Gafford was in foul trouble. He only played 19 minutes. That's all I know about this game.
I
Listen,
didn't even watch this game.
I
Me
learned.
neither. I didn't see this.
I
one.
learned that if you are playing the Wizards, that night is your night. Go get your career high because they will let you score. 8 people had double figures tonight against the Wizards. You will have a good night. You will be able to go out on the club and say that you did something that night, and you will be able to have a productive game. If you're in a slump, play Washington. You'll be all right.
There you go, man. That's our takeaway. The Wizards suck. Surprise, surprise, everybody.
Big one.
143 in regulation is devious. This is
They had
terrible.
110.
Devious.
They're at 110, bro, in the third quarter. Before the third quarter even ended. That is crazy.
In regulation?
that's-
Come on.
Yeah.
Devious is such a funny word.
Like, it just has to be intentional. Like,
Yeah. I like the way
Come on,
Obi
bros.
Toppin looked. He only played 19 minutes because, like you said, a lot of guys were eating. A lot of garbage time was had. I thought Obi looked good if in the little bit I saw.
yeah, he looked good in preseason too.
Yeah,
Bruce
shout
Brown.
out Obi. I'm very excited for him. Oh yeah, Bruce Brown went nuts. He had
Coming out
24 points.
And looking
told
like
you.
fucking prime Klay Thompson is the most unexpected thing ever, bro.
When did he
Very
have his
high.
baby with Lana Rhodes? Was that recently? Is he still on the dad strength wave like Fred VanVleet?
I have no idea. Did he? He had a kid? I didn't even know that.
Yo, the rumor is that he's Lana Rhodes' kid's son.
All right.
What?
Nah, you're a nasty guy. You're a nasty guy.
Whoa, what type of Isaac, what do you do on your off time?
You're a
You
nasty
on
guy.
Shade Room? Oh my god.
That's
I'm on the
terrible.
internet. People thought it was Blake Griffin's kid. People were clowning him. Now they're like, "Oh shit, it's Bruce Brown."
know,
Actually,
I was
the whole internet was
I
very
thought you
invested.
were- Bro, I thought you were going towards another route. There's like, speaking
Nah.
of this is for 2 seconds, some random ass girl hopped on a podcast talking about some, yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Leave that alone. Leave that
Oh no, we gotta go. We gotta go.
That was
alone. No more of that.
Bruce Brown. Ew.
Isaac 23
Yeah, man.
over here.
She said she got
No
pink
more of
eye, bro.
Next game.
Oh my god, bro.
Next game. The Cavaliers played the Nets and pulled out the win. But the Nets gave them a push.
They really did. No, the Nets fumbled this game. The
Do you know
Nets,
why the Nets gave them a push?
Tell me
Cam
why.
motherfucking Thomas dropped 35 points.
He's listen, we got to get him in just like a pro-am. Like if he could play pro-am basketball, I feel like that's where he thrives. Because if Cam Thomas, either in a pro-am or on teams where nobody thinks that like anything is going to happen, which I guess is the Nets. So like he's just going to have 1 to 2 week stretches where he's just scoring 36 every night. And it's like, why doesn't this guy play 36 minutes a night? Like why are we not running him in the starting lineup?
Is he Devin Booker?
Yo, when it comes to Cam Johnson, you're either getting 2 points or 36 points. There is no in between with him, bro. You're either getting a ton of buckets or he ain't getting no burn. It's so weird. What is this tweet?
Well, this
that's being
tweet.
pulled up?
Mo,
The Nets gotta
can you
find someone who
explain
can
this?
penetrate consistently. You think they need Bruce Brown?
Why did you capitalize penetrate?
My iPhone likes to capitalize things
In
randomly.
the middle
It's
of
not me.
sentences? No, that was intentional.
At
Please
first-
tell me, what were you
listen.
thinking?
They should have hired.
I misspelled the word penetrate at first, and then I did autocorrect and made it the P capital. It's not me. I'm blaming it on iOS. Don't blame
We
me.
can't
man.
let Bruce Brown ever play for Ime Udoka. It's gonna be a scary sight.
Oh my goodness.
Yo,
What are we talking about? Hey, yo. what's going down right now?
We're in the deep end of the pod.
oh my god.
It's gonna be treacherous. You my treacherous little twin.
Yo,
Oh man.
yo, my head hurts.
Tommy's
Yo, my head hurts.
can't breathe.
Oh my gosh. Yo.
He's having a coughing fit.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, I'm about to die. Oh, God. Oh, God.
If you're still here, comment Bruce Brown is devious.
Yo, this is so disgusting, bro. Oh my gosh.
Comment Bruce Brown is devious.
No,
in
this
the
is a
comments if
nasty
you're still
guy
watching.
here. This is a nasty guy hosting our pod. This is crazy.
Wow.
We got to move
that's
on.
fucking hilarious.
What's the last game? What's the last game?
Two
we
more
had?
games. The Pelicans played the Grizzlies. I got to watch some of this one. Pelicans look good. They had a very spread out offense in the way we always talk about them having a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I think you saw the positive of that tonight. They won without a single player dominating. CJ McCollum was their leading scorer. I think he had 24. It just looked like exactly what you want from an offense that has a lot of creators. And then the Grizzlies just look like a team that didn't have the firepower with no jaw.
Listen, Desmond Bane, you're about to earn all the money you just got paid. Because now if you were ever going to be a star, now is the time for you to step up and show us what you can do. Listen, he had 30 tonight. So for the first, you have 24 more games of this. Please enjoy it.
And 5 assists. He had to be the primary facilitator with no jaw there and no Tyus Jones there. And I think he did a decent job at it. The problem is Jaren Jackson was ass. I think he was like 2 for 9 from the field for the beginning of the game. I don't know what he finished with.
He finished
But he
2 of
8
9.
points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, bro. He had 5 blocks, which is monstrous. But
He did not look good attacking Jonas Valanciunas off the dribble.
He's on that Team USA grind.
Going against those big body bigs like that isn't his thing. He doesn't get a lot of lift when he attacks the jumper. When he attacks the rim, he doesn't get a lot of lift off the ground.
have some shame.
I'm so sorry.
Have some
Why the
shame.
fuck is he laughing?
No, I'm so sorry.
Y'all, I'm sorry.
I looked up, and the kid was like, and we like guys.
This pod is going off the deep end.
Oh
Listen,
my
man,
gosh.
Jaren Jackson was trash. They lost to the Pelicans. If you're scared of the Grizzlies not being able to do good enough without Jaw, tonight's the reason why. They didn't have facilitating, didn't have any creation from anybody worth a damn. And the Grizzlies and the Pelicans look solid.
Yeah, shout out to Zion. Big Z is back.
Shout out Big Z.
Nobody's ever called him that.
I
trying to make
for sure has someone call him Big Z.
Listen,
someone on TNT, bro.
we know about Zion's activity.
Okay. We're wilding. We're wilding. Listen,
man.
guys, it's late. It's late.
This is the end.
Everybody's
there's one
just
more
delusional
game.
at this
One
point.
more game. The Los Angeles Clippers versus the Portland Trailblazers.
There's 2 more
my
games, actually.
goodness.
There's another 2 more
well,
games.
To be clear with everybody, we started recording while the Trailblazers were playing the Clippers. We can't comment on it.
Yeah.
We don't fucking know what happened. We've been recording while it's happening.
That is true.
And
But
yeah, man.
one thing that I
and
will
the Kings
say,
squashed
though,
the Jazz.
real quick, Russell Westbrook was doing Russell Westbrook things, and he looks like he's been continuing the positive production in the old Russell Westbrook things that we saw on a lower scale since last season with the Clippers.
Good for him.
It
I
was
hope
a slight
Westbrook has a
glimpse
good
I saw.
season.
Nice. Yeah, I'll check that out tomorrow. I'll see what's going down.
Yep. That's the end of this section of the podcast. It's time for TikTok time.
Let's
and today's
do
going to
it.
be a little different because we had to record TikTok time yesterday because we knew tonight was going to be a late night pod because we were going to try to react immediately after Wednesday's games. So we're finna time travel a little bit. And I'm about to clap my hands and send you back to yesterday.
Crayon eaters, let's go.
All right, so welcome to yesterday. We're here a day before the first half of the podcast, and now we're going to hit out some TikToks. Y'all ready?
Let's do it. I love time travel TikToks, to be
Me too. It's the best.
to be honest.
I love breaking the fourth wall.
Exactly.
As always, we're going to start with the draft. You know, we got to get the blood flowing, do our bread and butter. And this time, we're going to do a draft of NBA players that have won Rookie of the Year.
Let's go. I'm going for back-to-back wins. Everybody said that I won the last one pretty convincingly. I'm coming for it.
Coincidentally, this time you get the number 1 pick, so you're off to a good start.
Love to hear it. This is what
I'm
I
going to
need.
make it work.
You started Dynasty. So yeah,
Exactly.
the order as you see on the screen, Donovan first, me second, Mo, you're third. Honestly, not a bad one to be third in, so I guess it's not the worst thing in the world.
I ain't tripping too hard. I'm ready to cook.
So let's draft NBA lineups with only players who have won Rookie of the Year. Where you
Okay.
going first, Donovan?
All right. So with my first pick, give me LeBron James.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Jordan.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. That's crazy.
Listen, I feel like I know where kind of everybody else is going. I'm trying to, project forward on what I'm going to need on the back end. So have to get that all around
This
player.
is the first time I wanted Jordan over Braun. Given to me for second pick. Where you going, Mo?
All right, cool. So for the third pick, go ahead and give me KD.
Okay. Versatile pick,
And
I
then-
believe. Versatile pick, I see it.
Yeah, and then for the sake of OD space, Damian Lillard.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I need a lot of space. There's a lot of bigs in here too, but I see the big at
Okay,
once.
so
He's
you
not
just
here
gave Isaac the. Okay, you got it, Isaac. Go ahead.
yet. Go ahead.
All right, so give me Tim Duncan. Give me an all-time great.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going.
What do you want, Kareem?
No, I was gonna take the most dominant player ever. Give me Shaq at my center.
Oh, you can have him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, give me Shaq
Give him
at my center, and then, you know what? We're gonna put LeBron at the point guard because
Okay.
at my 3, give me Larry Bird.
Okay, I see it. For my center, you got the most dominant center. I'll just take the best one. Give me Kareem.
Body
Wow.
bag.
Okay. Nice.
He's not.
Y'all
He's
got
not.
that.
He's not guarding a drop step. I'm letting you know that right now.
I'll let Tim Duncan handle that. He'll be fine.
You got me. You got me. My bad.
I'm dead. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually put KD at the 4, and at the 5, give me David Robinson.
It's a good pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid.
And then I got my 2. I need a 2 and I need a 3. So
Dame is still crazy, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, that's nuts.
he's gonna have a generational season. Trust.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And then
You got it.
yeah. And then at my 3, you go ahead and give me Vince Carter.
Okay. I see that. There's not a lot of wings left. I respect that. Listen, I don't think I need a strong 3. I don't think I need a lot of size at 3. So I'm going to push Jordan there and put Luka at my 2.
I was wondering when you were gonna go Luka because I knew you were gonna get him, but that's okay. That's solid. That's solid. All right.
Okay.
At my 2, give me the dynamic duo that's already played. You know I love doing this. Give me Kyrie at my 2.
Okay.
And then at my 4, see, this is tough. I need a little bit of everything. I feel like I need a little bit more defense. This is gonna be weird. This is gonna be weird.
Don't sell. Don't sell.
I feel like, dang, this sucks. I feel like I might.
He's gonna sell.
I feel like I might sell.
Uh-oh.
You know what?
Cat
Nah,
is right there. Just do it.
No, I'm gonna just. That's even worse. You know what? Just give me Chris Webber at my 4. We're just gonna keep it rolling.
Ew.
I know. It could
I guess you
have
didn't
been
sell, but
It
you
could have
didn't
been
claim
better,
the win
but-
either.
Yeah.
I got no room to talk.
Listen.
Let's go.
At my point guard, I got plenty of size, got plenty of buckets, got the best rim defense possible. I need 3 and D in my point guard. Give me Chris Paul.
I knew you were going that. You too readable. Damn it.
My squad is filthy.
All right, a little bit more shifting. I need another ball handler and I need more defense. Someone who fits that mold perfectly is Ben Simmons. So I got to shift my entire lineup.
This man is
I
Ben
did it.
Simmons and Damian Lillard.
Come on, man.
I did it.
Meanwhile, we
I
all
did
have
it.
5 Hall of Famers.
I did it.
All right.
You did do it. You did do
You
it.
did something. You did something. I promise you that.
Listen, put me in 2K and I probably have the most fun lineup to play with.
Fun?
Sure.
For sure. I'll
Sure.
give you that.
That's what I was going for.
I don't know if Ben Simmons is fun to play with in 2K, but I guess.
No, like he's 6'10", right? When he's healthy, he can run and dunk. Like this is exactly
Bro.
this is a very good black.
This
top
is
team.
peak Ben Simmons. We're talking about rookie of the year Ben Simmons right here. So they ain't much better
rookie
than
Ben
you
Simmons?
That's peak
don't know
Ben, bro.
I don't know
What
if
is
that
peak Ben?
helps.
You lost me. You lost me right there. You lost me
What
right
else
there.
is peak Ben, bro?
I don't know. All NBA Ben Simmons 2019. Like there's better versions.
I don't know,
fucking
man.
rookie of the year.
They ain't have the magic comparisons back then. It was all in his rookie year. After that, shit went downhill.
I love it. All right. So my full team: Chris Paul, Luka Doncic, Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Nice.
See, that's good. I'm attacking your backcourt every time. I'm CP is he can't hold Kyrie. He can't.
I think
do
he'll
it.
be fine.
Spacing his ass on your team.
He couldn't guard Steph for a decade. He doesn't know what to do with Kyrie. All right, so at my point guard, I have LeBron. I have Kyrie at my 2, Larry Bird at my 3, Chris Webber at the 4, and then Shaq at the 5. It's not
Chris
terrible.
Webber and Kyrie are. Listen, you're not winning the talent war, but maybe fit. You got it.
Chris Webber and Kyrie. That's interesting. All right, so at my 1, I got Ben Simmons. At my 2, Dame. 3, Vince Carter. 4, KD. And at my 5, David Robinson. When it comes to fit, this is probably the best fit here.
Yeah, then you just notice that there's Ben Simmons in the lineup.
All right, let's relax. All right, Ben Simmons. Look, I don't like the way you're talking about him right now, and I don't want to back him up. God,
I don't want to stand on him.
Yeah.
I'm probably the most pro Ben Simmons person here, but when we're taking the 15 best players of all time, damn near, I don't know if Ben Simmons should be sniffing a lineup.
He shouldn't be.
I'm looking at the rim pressure. The spacing is art.
Is it? It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, either way, you didn't win, so it's gonna be okay.
I won in my heart.
He said, listen, we all run our own race, and I'm finishing in first place.
Corny.
All right, man. Next thing we're going to do. 2 weeks ago now, we graded some NBA City jerseys when they were all just leaks. Well, yesterday, let me not say released. They leaked, but like the official leaks, the official images. So we have access to all of them. So today, we're going to grade 12 more NBA City jerseys.
It was a terrible day yesterday because I saw a lot of them. This was tough. Listen,
it's not a good collection of uniforms. It's not a good collection of clothes or designs, colors, anything. Nothing's good about it, but they're here.
The only thing good about it is the fact that we get to make content on the back end about it. That's literally the only thing because these are trash. These are trash.
All right, man. Let's grade more NBA City jerseys. What are we seeing first? First up, the Denver Nuggets.
Come on, man. Come on.
They win an NBA championship and they get rewarded like this?
It's disgraceful, bro.
Take back the championship after that, bro.
Numbers on numbers in the front? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. If I was a fan, I wouldn't be able to enjoy the ring anymore. Like, the ring ceremony is going to happen tonight, and I'm just going to be sad because I know this is coming in 2 days when I got to see my team wear this jersey.
It's terrible. This is like the Heat culture one where they lean too far into it. Denver, we understand. You guys are very high up above the ground. Relax. Relax. We don't need to see this on the front of the jersey.
You don't need to know they're exactly 5,280 feet high.
Honestly, bro, this just set back the entire state jersey, by 20 years. This is definitely a nerd thing. Who thought this was cool?
The number, like, everything about it is bad. You can't see the mountains. Number on number looks like crap. The numbers on the top are too high. It's just awful. F.
This is worse than an F in my book, bro.
Disgraceful.
There might be worse though, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Worse than
there's
F
5 jerseys on here that we could honestly argue are the worst jerseys in the league and some of the worst of all time.
Has it ever been this bad?
No, we've never had this many bad jerseys in the league at once.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. They're shooting like peak Harden playoff numbers, bro. Like they're going 8 for 30 type shit.
This is that egregious. Defended by Manu Ginobili. He's blocking the shot from the back. That could have got weird. Next one.
Very quickly.
Next up, the New Orleans Pelicans. Another egregious one. What the fuck is this?
This is very topical though. It feels like a Halloween jersey.
Exactly.
Right?
Why is New Orleans getting a Halloween jersey?
You know, voodoo. That's all I have. That's all I have for you. You know.
No, this shit is shirted at Coraline. This is awful.
Have you seen Princess and the Frog? They be doing the little magic stuff. This kind of plays into it. They have the green.
I'm trying to see the vision. I don't know colors, but this is so far off the path. It's awful. I don't even know how they could have even gotten here.
There is no identity in this jersey whatsoever.
Zero.
That's one thing I could say for sure. That's one thing I could say for sure.
Yeah, zero identity.
The
identity is Ninja Turtles.
Now that is dope.
Listen, I'm kind of a Ninja Turtles fan, so I'm not gonna give it an F. So I'm gonna give it a D.
You out of your mind.
I want to say this is a C.
You shouldn't have said anything about the Ninja Turtles. Those are my guys.
We seen it.
Have you seen the movie?
Exactly. Put this bitch on a Ninja Turtle, and we said
All right, next up, we got the Los Angeles Lakers.
Isaac, how do you feel about?
So good.
Because you love black jerseys, and I feel like they fumbled right here.
I'm gonna say it. 3P for Fs. This is horrible. This is terrible. I hate this jersey as a Lakers fan. Why is that end so high up? Look at that shit. Look at the end in the top. It's so high.
Please get into your graphic design bag. Tell me more about why this is trash.
Black Lakers jerseys only work when there's no purple. The best one, the Mamba jerseys, just black and yellow. Black, purple, and yellow together looks terrible. The text placement is all jumbled up together. The N is stupid high. Nothing about it flows. Nothing about it looks smooth. It's just all trash. Another F.
This man be on Canva working. You know what I'm saying? He knows a thing or two about this graphic design stuff. This is terrible.
Well, what do you think?
Oh man, it's like I feel like when I look at this jersey and the placement of these words, you ever like had those the alphabetic magnetics on your fridge? I feel like I've been placing that shit.
That's so good.
Like it's like so misplaced, so unorganized.
You're saying this
I'll
is
get my ass beat as a
art?
kid if I did this shit, bro. Yeah. My mom used to punish me if I didn't put my words in order, and this is all over the place, bro.
Let's dissect that a little more.
Let's talk about my childhood trauma.
No, this shit is giving me childhood trauma fucking after the fact. I hate this.
It's like this
Yeah,
was
this
so
terrible.
close to
I'm
be
giving this an
ass,
F.
but it's not an F to me. There's worse, I feel like.
Listen, there's depths of F. This might be at the top of the F tier, but it's still F tier.
Let's do it. Fuck it. F tier.
Next up, we got the Atlanta Hawks.
I saw something yesterday. Is that Times New Roman? This is straight just like a high school paper. This is an essay.
Listen.
Like that's the font. This is weird. And also, why is the ATL a different color than the 5? Like just make it the same color on the front. Let's keep it together. It's nah. I don't see the vision with this.
Martin Luther King. 2 Chains. Take Off. Lil Baby. Future, Young Thug, nobody in the history of Atlanta. Jimmy Carter, throw out names. They're rolling in their graves over this, bro. This is crazy. What does this mean to an AT alien like me? This is disrespect. This is like a Memphis OKC jersey.
Yeah, you just call yourself an AT alien?
Appalling.
It's Martin Luther King. Jimmy Carter.
What the fuck is this
Man,
jersey,
the Outcast stan.
Oh my god. Y'all want to know something? I kind of like it.
Of course you do.
I kind of like it.
Of course you do.
It's unique, but it's like
unique.
not for the culture of Atlanta, though. Like, it's cool, but not here.
It don't got shit to do with Atlanta. It's kind of boring. I get it. I kind of like it. I don't know why.
You know what it low-key reminds me of? It and maybe it's just the color of the 5. It kind of reminds me of the Cream City jersey that Milwaukee had a couple years ago.
Because it's soft.
It's kind of the same. It's probably just because of the color.
You said because it's soft. Are you saying this jersey's bitch made?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you trying to say about like someone who made this jersey has nothing to do with Atlanta, bro. I don't know who was in charge of this project, but they need
it's
to
the lowercase numbers
out of the building. Yeah,
you
it's
guys
a lowercase
you guys
ATL.
don't type in lowercase in Atlanta.
This is definitely a corporate jersey. This was made
Hell
on
no,
a
bro.
spreadsheet.
Exactly,
Charlotte's Web
bro.
jersey.
It's not ass though. I have to. I can't lie. It's not trash. It'll be much better if it was another city. But for that, I think this might be a C.
I'll give it C minus.
They should have just kept the MLK jerseys, bro. We're set for life.
But that was all time. Said it, Martin Luther King. Little Tucci.
and then immediately he said take off.
Baby.
MLK.
No, Jimmy Carter threw me for a loop. What the fuck?
MLK and take off. Same impact.
Next up, the Phoenix Suns.
Every year we talk about this. The NBA does something to offend the Mexicans. This is it. This is it, right? They keep trying to big up, the Hispanic population. They keep messing around with them. This is bad. This is bad.
Funny? This jersey is modeled after Devin Booker's cars.
Are you serious?
Yes. Devin Booker likes old schools, and that pattern on the side is from his car.
Bro, that's lame. Oh my gosh. The pattern on the side makes it worse.
That's terrible. You see the little star?
You ever see in 2K when there's like expansion teams, like fake teams people make, and they make like custom jerseys with the 2K builder? This is the type of jersey that pops out. Just hella colors.
Hella
This
colors.
is awful. No, this is bad.
No direction.
This is bad.
Just
Where's
racist.
this baby blue coming in from? Why have the Suns started to introduce this color into their color scheme?
I don't hate it. It's fine. I'll give it a C. I think it's decent.
If the
Just 'cause
35 ain't have no dumbass gradient and instead it was white, then that would be a C for me.
I think the text looks cool. That's the only thing saving it from being asked to me.
If this, I don't know. I feel like if this colorway was on like a shoe or something, it might be a little bit better. But everything put together on this jersey just isn't. It's not coming together for me.
Yeah.
I'll give it like a C.
Out of all the jerseys that have been pandering to Mexicans lately, this is the best one.
100%. Listen. What did the Clippers do this year? Because they are notorious.
Oh my goodness.
For trying to offend the Mexicans.
They left us alone. I'll tell you that. They've moved on. They threw us away. They don't want to play with us anymore. Next up, the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have words to describe how bad this is.
I have words. The single worst jersey in sports history. This is insane. This Stranger Things ass jersey, fucking RuneScape ass jersey, World of Warcraft, all that. Awful.
This World of Warcraft jersey. This is in DC, dude. The government needs to investigate this. Fuck all the other issues we have in our country. What is going on at the heart?
Bro, they got Kyle Kuzma looking like he serves the Lord of Light. Like he's trying to win the Game of Thrones. This is crazy.
Hear he. Ew. I just imagine that. Ew.
My lady.
Unhand me when someone fouls his ass.
Trash, bro. I don't even gotta say F. It's obvious. This is just like the purest of F.
Yeah, this is by far the worst of the year.
It's the worst of all time, I think. I don't think you've ever had a worse city jersey than this.
I don't know. That Mavs graffiti.
No,
one,
I'd rather. Bro, there's dotted gradient. Look at that shit. It's the worst gradient you can imagine. It's grainy gradient.
But here's the thing: is this worse or is that Heat Culture one worse? That one was actually bad.
Look at that font.
Y'all
this
arguing
is like a
over
box.
Y'all are arguing over trash and garbage. I don't know which one to pick.
Give me anything over this Wizard jersey. This is atrocious. Let's move on. Next up, the San Antonio Spurs.
Ooh, this is a Scooby-Doo type jersey. This is kind of hard.
This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool.
This is hard.
Kind of cool.
I fuck with it heavy.
I'm giving it an A. This is my favorite one of the bunch. Honestly, of the whole 30, this is number one.
It's easily an A. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll give it an A. This is good.
Yeah, it's got like that 70s show font. It's real retro looking. I fuck with it heavy.
It feels Western with the little font. I'm rocking with it.
The font kind of gives me SpongeBob vibes. Like
they gotta have Wemby dripped out this
year.
year.
So simple, fun. You gonna have a great day, great game if you wear this jersey.
Exactly. Listen, San Antonio knew. They said, "Listen, Wemby's coming into. We can't play around. We have to have him looking good every single night."
And if they have a matching court with this, it's gonna be gorgeous.
You thought Adam Silver wouldn't get this city right, bro? Trust me, this is probably like V80.
All right, next up, the Boston Celtics.
Not bad. I don't like the little like wood paneling on the side. I just put it in a straight line.
Oh, is that wood?
That's what I think it is. It looks like looks like a little hardwood type thing.
That's interesting, but yeah, I think it'd be better without it probably.
If you just put it in a straight line instead of like the little, bent thing, but it's not bad. The little 42, the little like, Irish font or whatever.
At least this jersey looks normal. Most of them look like complete bullshit. This is a regular jersey with the regular colors and regular design, so it got to be a B.
It's so hard to mess up a Boston Celtics jersey, and I'm happy they didn't do that. That would have been a fucking insane effort too. This is so simple. Yeah. I like it. It's cool.
Thanks. I like the drop.
At minimum, they didn't come out here with bikini bottom bullshit, so it's decent. B for competence. All right, next up. The Cleveland Cavaliers. People really hate this one. How do y'all feel?
What's that on the?
It's like some like regal pattern. It's almost like it's majestic looking.
Honestly, if the 4-5 was just in a straight line, listen, I might have to be like Mo's mom. You put those numbers in a straight line, right? You gonna have problems. Because if they change that to make the 4-5 just very simple, I think I would like it. But it looks very, very childish.
Feels
I like this one. People hate it. Like people really hate this one, and
No,
I
it's
don't
not
know
terrible.
why.
It's not
I think
terrible.
it looks like regal. It looks dope. It looks like kings. Like it looks dope.
I don't know. It's alright. It's not crazy.
It's like bottom
like
of
a
the B
C.
tier, top of
Say
the C.
C, high B,
Yeah.
or low B for sure.
Yeah, I'll say B.
It's not trash though. It's simple. This as it
Yeah.
should be.
I fuck with it. We'll go B. Next up, the Utah Jazz.
They're cooking. This is nice. This is nice.
This is how you
very
make a
nice.
city jersey that actually feels like it's representing the city and the franchise's history and is a modern rendition of something classic. This is what every team should be doing.
Not a lot of people are proud to be from Utah, but if I was from Utah, I'd be proud of this shit right here. I am repping it every day.
So they gave him something to live for another year.
Absolutely, bro.
Oh,
What?
no. Listen,
That's hard.
the frat boys at BYU are rocking this heavy.
Listen, they're gonna be dressing. They're gonna be.
They
fitted
put
out.
up,
It's
bro. They
true.
put up wilt numbers with this jersey
and
on.
I can't hate. I can't even hate.
Game recognized game. I'm sorry. Hey,
This is easy A, bro.
Yeah,
Maybe
give
S
it an A.
actually. It should be S actually. To be honest,
If we're giving
compared to the
S's,
competition, should be.
it's up there with San Antonio for the best one. I think.
I think
sure.
this is better.
That's fair. All right, next
I
up,
agree.
we
Hey,
got the
there's
Clippers.
All right, F,
Barf.
move on.
This looks like a Wizards jersey.
It does. Was Michael Jordan wearing this? This is nuts.
They don't know what they're doing out there. They don't know how to construct a team. They don't know how to build an aura. They don't know how to make jerseys. They don't know how to be a cool or competent franchise. So once again, to the Clippers, you get an F. This is terrible.
It looks like a toothpaste brand.
I'm just like, yo, how can you go with the clips and then completely change up the font of the two? Like that's so
Why is
misplaced.
it too so fucking angular?
It's just
What the hell?
so like I don't know why, but I feel like this shirt gives me Futurama Bender type vibes. Just like I don't know why. It's just so.
No, it looks like a dentist office. This is crazy. It's like
Yeah.
someone said it looks like a
Dentist
local
office is
barbershop.
crazy.
It's so true. This is a local barbershop sign.
Oh, facts.
It's not great clips. This is just clips.
That's hard. Yeah. Oh God. I can imagine this being the little thing that they put over me when they cut my hair for sure. That would be hard.
Haircuts.
Yeah.
F easily.
Yes, F.
All right, next up, the Philadelphia 76ers.
This is why Joel Embiid's getting traded in like a year, bro. This is why he's gone.
Big facts. Big facts.
Nah, this made him give up hope for the city. Creed would be disappointed.
Why are the texts so little?
And they're so stupidly placed. Why are they both shifted to the left on top of each other? Like maybe do one top left, one bottom right, something. This just looks awful.
This is one of those jerseys where whenever we make our argument for why city jerseys shouldn't be a thing, this comes up on the PowerPoint, right? This is what we point to, and we're like, hey, you have millions of people trying to wear this every night. You have to stop the embarrassment, right? You have to save yourself and give yourself some pride, something to stand up for, something to believe in. This doesn't make me want to do any of that. We have to get rid of this. We have to abolish city jerseys.
Why the hell would I wear?
That's terrible. That's bad. I'm actually like disappointed in my soul. Like this is a real concern for the NBA about how bad these jerseys are.
This makes me agree with the old heads and think that we need to abolish graphic design and just go back to jerseys with big blocky letters of one color. Just keep it simple. We need to get rid of Photoshop.
Oh,
People
so
are
y'all
bored.
motherfuckers too dumb. Stick to the basics. Yeah, I don't know why I'd wear, or I don't know why anyone would wear a jersey that states "City of Brotherly Love" on it. What does that mean? That should be an in the locker room thing. Why is it on my
that's
jersey?
their city slogan. But like, it doesn't. It's too many words for a jersey.
It's ass,
Yeah,
bro.
That's bad.
I
Screw
think,
this
I think that's our last one, so we can move on. But these,
Thank you.
we're gonna
my
react to the
mood.
next 10 next week. We're gonna go.
I've suffered
10
enough.
per week.
I've suffered enough for today.
So next thing we're gonna do another staple of the show. We're gonna hit our tier list for the week. We're gonna put NBA superstars into a tier list and just get a lay of the league and see how we're putting the best players in the league up against each other.
Okay, let's do it. It's gonna be an interesting convo.
Exactly.
Probably gonna be some slanderous takes in here. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, listen, we're getting the hate off. That's what we do, right?
So one thing about me.
Exactly. That's a major part of our bag. Is superstar slander. So let's get into it.
All right, man. Let's put these NBA superstars into a tier list. First off, which one are we gonna do first? First off, Steph Curry.
S tier. S tier.
Still cream of the crop, even when he's 35 years old.
No matter the way you slice it, bro, he is one of, if not the best player in the NBA. On any given night, he could be the best player on the court. You know,
Spicy.
So
Yep.
he's Steph Curry. You can't. There's no way you can exclude him out of the conversation after year after year after year, and how much he's improved his game in different aspects, especially since he's been older. So
For sure. All right, next up, Nikola Jokic.
oh, this is the best player in the NBA.
Yep, the actual best player. Steph's in
This
the
is an S
conversation
tier as well.
Steph's in the conversation. Jokic ends the conversation. He's number one right now.
100%. Listen, two MVPs in 3 years, coming off of a Finals MVP, a championship. We all have Jokic rising up our all-time list. He's 100% S tier superstar.
Exactly. He's in the middle of an all-time peak right now, and we're seeing it continue in real time. You got to give him the recognition.
Facts.
Next up, Joel Embiid.
He's not S tier.
Can't be.
He can't be.
He kind of
think
fell
he
to
can be A
C
tier
in my
either.
opinion.
Yeah, he
kinda
can't be
fell to
A tier
C.
either.
Really? Okay.
I mean, MVP season, he deserves to be
know
like
what?
above average
Yeah.
for a superstar. But, he's never succeeded in the playoffs, not once.
Not once
Listen,
is crazy.
If
That means a lot.
I'm cool with it. Because this is consistent. We've established that was a Mickey Mouse MVP. And so I'm good having him at C in this tier list.
Even if you think it's a very well-deserved, like super respectable MVP, literally every year fails in the playoffs because his body can't hold up, because he chokes, whatever reason it is. Until we see him do something productive in the playoffs, he can't be higher than C.
That's fair.
Exactly. Shout out to Joel though. Everything against you.
All right, next up, Luka Doncic.
This is
Okay.
hard. He might be A.
We'll go B. Listen. The Mavs, they got Kyrie and they started losing more games last year, which is insane, right?
On paper, it's crazy.
Exactly. All the other guys in the S and A tier, they are like the cream of the crop. Luka still has a little bit left to prove, so I'll put him at B for now.
Yeah. He's not there just yet. He's one of the few players where you can put him around shit and he'll somehow still be an okay team. That's just the nature of his game. So he should be no lower than B. And also, he's had plenty of fantastic playoff moments. So, you know what I'm saying? That lands him at B for sure.
Yeah, and we all know he has talent to probably hit S eventually. We're just kind of waiting for the accomplishments to match that.
Exactly.
100%.
Next up, Devin Booker.
He was an MVP convos a couple years ago,
But that's not an MVP.
So we can't
But that's
forget.
not an MVP.
It was the
This
combo,
guy might
though.
deserve to be third place as an MVP combos.
So
Listen.
should he be in C? Because that's the range I'm kind of feeling. Because ain't no way in hell he's in
I don't think so.
He's made deeper runs than Joel Embiid. For what that's worth.
Yeah.
He's also gotten blown out every single time that he's on the cusp. If they are in a knockout game, you can count on Devin Booker and the Suns to lose by 25 or more.
True. We're going D.
Damn.
I'm going D.
Listen, he's like the 10th or 11th best player in the league. He's barely a superstar, so I think D is fine.
D is kind of crazy to me. I'm not gonna lie, but
I mean,
We're ranking him against other superstars, though.
exactly, yeah. It's not
Yeah,
like he's
I know.
standing in the league. It's compared to the cream of the crop.
I think sometimes he deserves to be the cream of the crop.
Oh,
Sometimes.
I mean, like, listen, when he's on, yeah, but like, again, you're losing by 25 every time it's an elimination game. So step up, lose by single digits, and you can be C.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's like literally everyone around him. It's not like he completely shits the bed like Joel Embiid. He actually he tends to rise to the occasion more often than not. We can agree to that. So,
For sure.
you know, like him covering up a lot of his holes too in his game and improving in a lot of those weak areas. I don't know. I feel like he deserves C. He deserves C at minimum, but I digress. We could do D.
I digress. Good word. Next up, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Also
This is
S tier.
S.
Also S tier.
Yep.
Listen,
He finished with him. Curry and Jokic are the best three players in the league in whatever order you want.
Facts.
yeah. It's simple. We don't even have to talk about it like that.
Exactly. It's Giannis. Everybody respects Giannis at this point of his career.
He's him.
Next up, Paul George.
Also
Oh my
D
God.
tier.
What?
D tier?
He
Yes,
should be
also.
F. He should be F.
Oh, okay.
I love him,
Okay.
but he should be F. He's not
Cool.
on the same level as D-Book for sure. Not.
Cool. you ain't got to tell me twice. Okay.
Wait, him being consistently hurt over the last few years sets him back. Not seeing any type of success. The stats are not like that either. So it's like, what has he done to be in the same range as someone like Devin Booker, Joel Embiid? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he finished
done the
third in
numbers.
MVP voting a couple years ago.
That was like
5 years ago.
2018, bro. What?
5 years ago.
Holy shit. That's a decade ago.
That was 2 presidents ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. Yeah, nah. He don't deserve that for sure.
Yeah,
I love him though.
you could argue he's not really a superstar. So I guess that means you got to be F.
Yeah, he's not a superstar in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Next up, Kevin Durant.
I would say A tier. I don't.
A
Yeah,
tier?
What has he done since he left the Warriors to be?
A tier.
I mean, it's Kevin Durant, so I don't want to disrespect the talent. He's obviously one of the best players of all time. But current day, old man Kevin Durant that always gets hurt, that hasn't led his team to anything of significance since he left the Warriors, he
The
might only
brightest
deserve B
thing-
these days.
I mean, Kevin Durant is still though. He's still one of the most malleable superstars in terms of you can put him anywhere. He's going to improve any offense, and you don't even have to like change anything that you're doing to fit him in. He's just going to go in, give you 30 on 50% shooting. It's just going to be one of the most efficient bucket getters of all time. So he does have the rings. He has some Finals MVP. So
no one cares about
We're
that.
talking today
No one
though.
cares
We're
about
talking
that.
like current day this season.
when it
He's
comes
old.
to thinking about Kevin Durant, like including today and also like
You
what
putting him
he
at
has
season?
done over the last few years,
fist to
No,
Like-
not C. C's too far.
the highlight of his career is being number 1 seed before it all imploded, or looking nice for like 15 games with Kyrie and Harden. Like that's the consistency of his career. To me, he's a B.
Listen, I don't blame him last year for losing to the Nuggets. They got outmatched by the best team in the league. He played up and down, but largely fine. The year before that, when he got curb stomped by the Celtics,
swept.
I blame him for that shit. That shit was not impressive. I think
Can't let that shit slide.
Okay.
I think obviously he's S in his prime, A as of a few years ago. I think this year, what is he, 36 years old? He never plays full seasons anymore. Can't get to the rim. I think he's B.
Okay.
B's,
Listen,
yeah, I think
listen.
B's
I
are
was trying to
right.
give people respect. We're out here hating. My bad. I have to step it up.
Catch up.
I have to step
Catch
it up.
up.
I know that's on me.
All right, next up, Damian Lillard.
F tier. No, I'm playing.
Nah.
Probably what, B? Like same level? Maybe C?
I'll probably say
I want to
C.
say C or B, to be honest with you. Probably C, though. I think C's a fair range. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
no one ever thinks he's going to have any type of playoff success because he was in the pits of Portland. And then he's
Pits of
like,
Portland.
he's a great player, you know what I'm saying? But he really has nothing to show for it. Over the last 10 years of his NBA career, what has changed? Absolutely nothing. He just grew a beard.
Yeah, not really his fault, because like you said, he was in those pits deep. But yeah, I mean, you can't put him on the same tier as KD, I don't think. I think KD's just a better player, even at his diminished age. Same thing with Luka. Embiid's also a better player, but he's down here for being a fraud in the playoffs. I think C works.
Yeah, C's perfect range
All
for
right,
him.
I'm
No
with
one
that.
has ever had those type of expectations for Dame, sadly.
Yeah. All right, next up, LeBron James.
This is hard.
LeBron is even right now, and I don't care what anything like what I don't care what he looks like this year. He's above S. He's in a different category of
That's a
superstar.
GOAT tier.
He's in a different tier. So let's put him in S and let's just keep it moving. Like
Okay,
Wow.
so no, realistically,
it's just different. It's just different.
outside of he's the GOAT. He can't be S. He's not a top 3 player in the league.
Yeah.
Can he still be A? That's the conversation. Would you rather have him, playoffs come around, would you rather have him than Luka Doncic?
When he's healthy,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like that's the only, of course, pivot in the conversation. And when he's healthy, I would probably rather have him outside of maybe 2 or 3 players in the entire NBA. And those 2 or 3 players are in S tier. So I think A
Yeah.
is like the perfect range for him, considering literally anything and everything he brings to the NBA court. And, you know what I'm saying, defense, he's not a liability either. So
People are going to hate this because people are like after last playoffs when he was playing injured, clearly people were like so quick to be like, oh, he's done. He's not a top 10 player anymore. And sure, the injuries have become an issue. Maybe they'll keep happening. Maybe we'll see this year that he just can't stay healthy anymore. Maybe he's on KD time where I'm saying he can't play a full season. But when he's healthy, we all still know that he is S tier level good. So I think A is fair, but I give him credit without too much credit.
That's fair because I'm on both sides of that argument. I do think that like he can't play a full season and that like that expectation is done. But if we come to a 7-game series and everybody's healthy, I would trust him as much as I do Steph, Giannis, and Jokic. Yeah. So that's why like if we're and it's LeBron, so that's why I'm just like, all right, let's just put him in this. But Ace,
yeah, and it's hard because you're getting credit off of like fucking aura vibes, but like
yeah,
it's LeBron. Like it's hard to you can't look past the intangibles with LeBron. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right, next up, Jason Tatum.
I'll go A. I obviously obviously the championship is not there, but outside of honestly,
consistent runs there.
Out of everybody on this list, his team has consistently either been in the finals or the conference finals in each of like the last 5 years. Like the consistent winning that he's been able to contribute to is you just don't see it a lot these days. So I'll give him that respect. I'll put him at A.
I think
and he's has probably more. He's probably besides Giannis the most consistent two-way impact.
Yeah, I can agree. The defense is always there on a consistent basis. Of course, he's going to get you his routine 25 to 30 a night, whatever way you want to slice it. And I think he does. I think A is a perfect spot for him. Now, at this point in his NBA career, people are waiting if he'll ever get to that upper echelon of the S tier. So, I don't know.
But at the same time, I don't feel like he's better than Luka.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I definitely don't think he's better than Luka.
I think
damn.
Well, Luka, listen, but we've already said Luka has S tier talent, but he's in B because the wins have not followed. The wins have followed for Jason Tatum, so he gets that bump.
But at that point, we're penalizing him for organizational issues, and I don't think that's right.
I mean, part of that is on Luka, though.
Like the difference here between Luka and Joel is they failed largely because of his inability to play at his level in the regular season. That's never been the issue with Luka. So I don't know if we can ding him in the same way we do Joel or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think we probably should move Luka to B now because
they missed the play-in. They missed the play-in.
Come on, we know it's not his fault. It's a new team. They added a Dynamite and Kyrie into the mix. It didn't mesh for the first 11 games. We know that's nothing to do with Luka's ability.
They're relying on Dwight Powell. What do you want him to do?
I understand that. The Thunder made the play-in as an under 500 team. You didn't even have to be 500 to make the play-in, and you missed it after getting Kyrie Irving. You can't be an A this year. Maybe you can be that the All-Star break. Not right now.
You put Luka on that OKC team, take out Shea, and they're probably in the second round of the playoffs at minimum, bro. That team is great.
Listen, if Chris Middleton doesn't get hurt, the Bucks win. If KD doesn't get hurt, the Warriors. We could do ifs all day. What I know is that the Mavs didn't make the play-in after getting an all-star player.
Yeah.
You're saying getting an all-star player like it was a pro when clearly it was a negative for the time being because they couldn't mesh with that and like it just threw a dynamite into their team. So I don't necessarily think that's like you should automatically be better with this. That's why they got worse. It wasn't because of Luka.
Not even better. Maintain. You literally got worse. You got worse. And it's y'all two. Like, you guys should be able to win game. It's hard for me to see a lot of other teams with much less talent who are also under 500 make the play-in, and you are not able to do that.
It's not about talent, though. It's like, if it was all about talent, then the fucking Lakers with Russell Westbrook would have went to the NBA Finals and shit. You know what I'm saying? But they just added the wrong type of piece immediately. You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Okay, so here's the thing. Do we want to move Luka up or move Tatum down?
We keep it as it is. What do you mean?
No, it cannot be the same. It cannot be the same. You think Tatum is better than Luka? This way. That's what you're saying?
No, here's the thing.
I've told you that I think Tatum is winning MVP this year. So for this season, yeah.
See, the thing is, Luka's obviously better than Tatum. Whatever. Keep your MVPs take. It doesn't matter. Luka's obviously better than Tatum, but Tatum's also obviously better at winning with this current team he has than Luka is. So I think that puts him on the same tier. You know, each one gets a rung for each. So are we putting them both in A or both in B?
Let's put Luka up. Bump him up one.
I think that probably makes it. But then I feel like we're doing KD a little wrong.
Now you're disrespecting Kevin.
He deserves to get disrespected, bro. He's going from super team to super team to super team, and you're still failing on a consistent basis. Now, some of that is not your fault. You old, you 36, pushing 37 with that goddamn hair. But at the same time, it's like, bro, like you're in control of your future, and you just haven't done anything.
Luka's in control of every game that he
no,
plays.
no,
What are we talking about? He holds the ball more than anybody. He's in control of every single game. If you say that KD has control of his entire situation, right, and you're not giving Luka the same thing, what are we like? Luka should not be on the. He shouldn't be on LeBron's level. And we can skip Tatum. He shouldn't be on LeBron's level. So drop him back down.
I mean, LeBron's old. I don't know. I think it's fair.
You cannot tell me that Luka has control when they fucking his wing pieces, his key wing pieces. Reggie Bullock out there getting 35 minutes a night. That is sick. You kidding me, bro? Luka would be blessed. A lot of young superstars, a lot of young stars in the NBA are jealous of what Tatum has and what the Celtics have built on a consistent basis, bro. He ain't had that opportunity.
Just take Luka off the board. He's TBD. He's TBD. We don't know yet.
I think we're outvoting you, Donovan. I think Luka's A. I think
This is terrible.
There we go. Let's do it.
This is awful.
Last one, Anthony Davis.
Solid B tier.
B tier, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Embiid passed him up. He's in MVP conversations every year.
I don't care about that. Embiid fails. Embiid fails in the playoffs every single year.
But he also fails as the one option, and Anthony Davis gets to play with LeBron James.
I don't care. He fails.
They're both very similar. Like they're both brittle.
I think Anthony Davis has to be C at best. I think
C is the perfect range for him.
He's the only one here with the luxury of being the second option, besides Booker now, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I think C is a perfect place for all the wild inconsistencies, whether it be your organization is too damn wild and you have no expectations, or it's just like you're that volatile as a player for X. I mean,
he's also the second best defender on this list, though. So, like,
second? I guess you have Giannis.
Yeah. Arguably the first. Him and Giannis are neck and neck as like two of the best defenders in the league.
That's what I'm saying. So, the Embiid playoff failures is just, it really stinks it up. And the only reason why he's at C is because he got that MVP, which we all have agreed is like probably should have went to Jokic. And so if we're just looking at like last year and even what we're projecting for this year, I think Anthony Davis might be on a different level than Embiid.
No, come on.
I can't get with that. I can't get right with that. I want to, but that's just you're being a little bit delulu with that. You're being delulu with that.
Me.
I care a little bit. I don't care a ton. I care a little bit though.
Think about everything that we're saying right now. Joel Embiid averaged like 30 and 10 last year. Had a whole bunch of like in and out stuff with Maxey, with Harden, all of that. And he is one of the rare people in NBA history that makes you not care about the MVP award. It's literally the best player in the league for that year. And because he got it, you're like, nah, like it doesn't mean as much.
That's true.
He's doing that. That's because of him.
Needless to say, I think Anthony Davis has to be C at best. Just he hasn't done it as a one option. That means a lot.
I can't believe you're having that conversation, Donovan. That's so crazy to me.
I'm so low. I'm so low.
So deep.
First of all, I told you guys. I came in. I started slow. I didn't know we were hating like that. I had to ramp it up. I didn't step up my game. You guys inspired me. So thank you.
I think this list is pretty perfect.
That's the tier list. I don't know why we put Paul George on here. Looking back, we just should have put Paul George on the list. Kawhi should have been on here. I forgot to put Kawhi. So comments. I just forgot about Kawhi Leonard. It's the only reason that's on here.
Nah, he's not a superstar. He don't play.
Oh my god. Whatever, man. There it is. We can move on to the next video. We've got a few more left in us before we get out of here. Next thing we're going to do, run back an old topic we've done a million times. Old versus new. This time, we're going to talk about some shooting guards. So, real simple. Which NBA shooting guard is better, old or new? First off, Devin Booker versus Vince Carter.
Listen, Vince Carter, he has all the highlights. He's not Devin Booker. He's not the scorer that Devin Booker was. I have to give D-Book his respect.
Yeah,
I agree.
Vince Carter is one of the most talented players that accomplished basically nothing as a one option.
It's true. Well, look, that is some impressive feat to reach. You're one of the best in the league, but you've done absolutely nothing. That's so hard to do, but that's the predicament he was in, bro.
That is the Joel Embiid recipe. One of the best. Hasn't done anything.
Listen, it's not like Devin Booker's been out here winning rings either. But I think, production for production, they're close enough. Devin Booker did have the finals run, which I think was impressive for his age. I'm comfortable giving him the nod, especially when we think that he's going to keep getting better.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
Facts.
Love it. Vince Carter wasn't on those Nets team that made the finals, was he?
I don't think so off the top of my head.
Am I talking out of my ass? Did he make the finals?
I think he did, though. Look at us, casuals.
I know. I just remember, am I talking out of my ass? That'd be hilarious if he did.
I'm pretty sure he did. Let me see.
Let's see. Did Vince Carter make a finals team? No, he didn't. We're good.
We know ball. We know ball.
All right, next up. Donovan Mitchell versus Manu Ginobili.
Oh man, this is so interesting. Manu was so impactful for the limited role that he was given, and he was the best at what he was asked to do. You know what I'm saying? And Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he has been the best at what he's been asked to do, but what he's been asked to do was so much harder to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
and Manu could have did more if he wasn't gonna. And Manu easily could have stepped up and had a bigger role too if he wanted to chase numbers. So I don't know.
I'm going Manu. I know that the stats are gonna say D Mitch, the athleticism is gonna say D Mitch and all that, but like you guys said, Manu purposely went to the bench to do what the team needed, right? To help the team out. If he wanted to, and if he was in another situation, he could have easily put up some of the numbers comparable to what D Mitch is doing. I'm giving
he could have been an all-star all the time too if he wanted to. If that was his goal, individual production, he could have found that somewhere.
But he's a winner.
That's so crazy to say. Now, Donovan Mitchell, I feel like if Donovan Mitchell didn't go out as sad as he did last season, then we probably have slightly different conversations if they at least make the second round if they at least make the second round, then, you know what I'm saying, we're having different conversations. But I think I might have to roll with Manu. It feels kind of wrong, though. Donovan's fantastic.
He is great. So is Manu.
I'm going Manu. It should be Manu.
Fuck Donovan.
He deserves that respect.
just a wild stray. Like we're being wild respectful.
All right, next up, we got Prime Harden versus Prime Tracy McGrady.
Ooh, this is Prime Harden. As much as we don't like Harden, Prime Harden is genuinely one of the best offensive players of all time.
Speak for yourself. I love Prime Harden. I'm picking him easily. Give me the guy who's not only one of the best scorers of all time in the regular season. I chose my words carefully, but also one of the best passers at the same time. That's such a rare combination. I think it's him easily.
On an actual NBA floor, give me Prime Harden. On the 2K floor, give me Tracy McGrady. I can score 60 with Tracy McGrady like that. I'll take Team Basketball.
Tracy McGrady can do it in 2K. Harden was doing that every other night in 2018.
Facts,
Just
bro.
cheating.
Putting up 36? Crazy as hell.
That man had multiple 50-point triple doubles in like a month-long span. It was ridiculous.
As if that was normal, bro.
The whole time.
God, that's insane.
We were so desensitized to it.
He legitimately broke the NBA.
Yeah, our perception of points and assists were just completely out the door because of James Harden.
Yeah, exactly. I never seen T-Mac bend and break all the rules and have the NBA literally force rules into the game.
I don't know. With the fouling stuff? Yeah. Forgot about that. All right. Next up, Anthony Edwards versus Ray Allen.
This is tough because this is two very
It ain't
different
no tough.
styles.
Get that bald ass head off of my screen. Give me Anthony Edwards. That is not tough. It is not tough. I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus Shuttleworth was pretty nice.
Ray Allen was great. So think about this: projecting Anthony Edwards by the end of this year, will he have passed up Prime Ray Allen?
I think it's very possible.
We got
Very possible. But we got to see it. I think Ray Allen maybe Ray Allen still gets the nod, but I won't be shocked if another deep playoff run from Edwards. I said another like he's done it before, but I won't be shocked if a deep playoff run from Edwards convinces me that he's better than Ray.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'll go. This is tough. I'll go Ant.
Already?
I don't know. You can't say Ant to someone who's...
No, I'm like, not already, but I am projecting, and I do like believe in him, and I do think that that's going to happen eventually. Maybe not like this year for the deep playoff run, but he's going to make a conference finals eventually. He's going to get to the finals, maybe.
I agree. I don't want to project, though, because
exactly.
Ray Allen is literally solidified into one of the great... into the history of the NBA in multiple facets, whether it be the shot that he made back in 2013.
As a third
you know
option.
what I'm saying? Yeah, and then doing what he did in Boston and just being one of the greatest shooters of all time.
But young Ray was probably as good as Ant was last year. Ant wasn't like already top 10 player level. I think Ray deserves it for now.
Yeah, let's do it, Ray. Shout out to Ray Allen, man.
Shout out Ray. All right, guys. Next video we got. I'm going to name 2 NBA players, and you guys are going to have to tell me who you think is going to score more points this season. We're guessing who's going to have the higher average by the end of the year.
Higher PPG? This is my bag.
Your bag is points per game?
Yeah.
Your points per game merchant, that's crazy.
That is like peak crayon eater, how-to basketball guide. How to indulge in basketball. You don't look at...
Listen, I can read basketball reference like real good.
Fuck that. Just go into points per game. Who averages more? You don't need basketball reference. If you're a crayon eater, you just look at Google.
Nice. All right. So, which NBA player is going to average more points per game this year? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Luka Doncic?
Ooh, this is tough. I'm going Luka just because it's him and Kyrie that are scoring the ball on that team. Shai, they have a lot of other options. We think Giddey's making a jump. Chet's going to score a little bit. J-Dub's going to score. Luka's going to need to score for the Mavericks to be good. So I'll take him.
Facts.
Maybe Kyrie's taking some touches. Maybe he's going to score. He's not going to hit that 34 points per game mark with the Kyrie there.
They'll both average 34.
Nah, man. They gotta make up for Derek Lively, Grant Hill, and all the just meh that they have around there, bro.
There is a lot of non-threats out there on the court with him.
Yeah, exactly. And Shai has so many threats around him. Josh Giddey's going to give you anywhere from 15 to 18 points per game. Lou Dort's pencil him in for a solid 8 to 10 points. And then Chet will give you 15.
Yeah, pencil him in.
I don't know. I mentioned Lou before. J-Dub, but yeah.
Yeah, I think J-Dub's going to take like a star leap this year. So maybe that'll slow down Shai's production a little bit.
Pencil in 17 points for J-Dub.
All right, Luka Doncic it is. Next one, Anthony Edwards or Anthony Davis?
I gotta go with
healthy
Ant.
cat.
I have to go with the number one option on the team and someone who's just better from the perimeter and is gonna take more threes, have more opportunities to be like the number one scorer every single night. It's kind of easy for me.
I don't know, man. Darvin Ham said he wants Anthony Edwards shooting or Anthony Davis shooting 6 threes a game.
He won't want that once he sees the percentages.
Listen, man, he averaged 26 last year. LeBron's only getting older. He's only going to want AD to carry more and more of a load. I don't think it's crazy to think he's going to average 26 again. Do we think Anthony Edwards is a lock for 27 or more?
Yeah.
Is it? That's hard. I don't know.
I
genuinely don't know.
I know it's hard, but like,
full season of Cat.
Oh, damn! I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll take AD. I'll take it. It's not even about Cat. I just forgot about like the space.
Yeah, he missed a lot of time last year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, let's go ahead.
I think Anthony Davis is the safer pick, but it won't be shocking at all if Anthony Edwards comes out and averages 28 or something.
Yeah,
pencil me for AD.
I think Edwards has a higher ceiling. I'll say that.
Agreed. Yeah, he could. If he put up 31, that would literally shock nobody.
Not even a little bit. All right, next up, Steph Curry or Kevin Durant?
Ooh, this is pretty easy in my opinion.
Is it?
This is pretty easy, yeah, because Curry has like nobody. Well, I don't want to say nobody on his team, but this team is definitely going to be more reliant on him than the Warriors or then the Suns will be reliant on KD as a scorer specifically. You know, they're going to rely on KD for all the ball handling duties or for a lot of it compared to, you know what I'm saying, what they're going to rely on Steph for. You know, they have CP there. So I think they're going to try to use him more as a bucket getter a little bit. It'll just make sense.
Yeah. Actually, not. I disagree. I'm going with
I
Steph.
was saying,
I'm going with Steph. Steph, like the Warriors are going to need him. They're going to need Steph to be a scorer like per usual. And then especially now that like CP3's there instead of Jordan Poole, CP3 is very pass first, facilitating first. Steph's getting them shots up this year.
Facts.
And can KD average 30 with Beal and Booker both getting their 25 plus? I don't. That's hard. That's hard to hold that many high level scores to continue to get their normal averages.
Not having Jordan Poole on your team look you off anytime does a lot. It does a lot, bro.
All right, Curry it is. Speaking of the devil, Jordan Poole or John Morant?
It's probably going to be. It's probably going to be Ja though.
Probably
average more points. Yeah, it's going to be Ja. I think. Listen, Jordan Poole in the same week that everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to show everybody he scored 41 and 3 points." What happened the very next night? He's going 5 or 17. He's going to be so up and down that I think he's probably going to average around like 24, 25, somewhere around there. Once Ja gets back into that mix, he's scoring 27 a night. It's gonna be his team, his offense. He's driving everything. I'm taking Ja.
That's fair.
I think.
Yeah, we're gonna need to see like an all-time great jump from Jordan Poole for him to be like easily the right answer here.
And I think the key
going for 20 to 26 is hard.
Yeah, and I think the key for him to that is to get to the rim a little bit more, and if you get to the rim, then you invite more contact. So if he can get his free throw percentages up or his free throw attempts up, then that might be a different conversation, and I might lean towards Jordan Poole averaging that nasty 28 points per game on 39% shooting from the field.
Nice. All right, next one: Nikola Jokic or Damian Lillard?
Ooh.
Normally Lillard got it, but second option.
I think I'm gonna
Lillard,
still take Dame. I think I'm gonna still take Dame though. This is gonna be. They're running the offense through them two. He's gonna be as wide open as well. Is he gonna be as wide open as he's ever been? Maybe.
I don't know.
He's gonna be mad efficient
Definitely.
though. That is what I'm banking on. I'm banking on the efficiency for Dame. And so even in the second row, I think he's still gonna score a lot.
I think Dame is probably going to take a little bit less shots because of the attention that he'll garner, even though he'll be more wide open. I think, yes, his efficiency will jump, but those attempts will go a little bit down. So I might lean towards Jokic, to be honest with you.
I'll go Dame, but just barely. I think Jokic is going to have like a really strong scoring season. From everything I've heard in the preseason, it seems like he's going to come out like, I just got the vibe he's going to come out more scoring oriented than he usually does. So I think it'll be like 26.5 for Jokic and like 27.5 for Dame.
That wouldn't shock me either.
Yeah, I think if anything, Giannis's average has come down a little bit too, not just Dame's. I think they'll both average like 28 instead of over 30.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I mean, if Jokic was to, score a solid 26 and a half or 25, then expect that Jamal Murray, like, official All-Star leap coming. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't surprise
All right,
me.
one more. Jason Tatum or Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I'm taking Tatum.
Giannis. Woo!
I'm taking Tatum.
Tatum?
Ooh, split decision.
I think Tatum has a chance to win the scoring title this year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
So he got more offensive weapons and you think he's going to score more points?
Yeah.
What?
I think that's backwards thinking right
It's
there.
going to be easy. It's going to be
backwards
too
thinking.
easy for Jason Tatum.
Embiid's
Now
going to be
you're-
playing with plumbers once they trade James Harden for a bag of chips. I think Embiid might score 35 a night.
I think Tatum has a legitimate chance to be up there though. So I'm
think he has a
all in on
chance.
Tatum this year.
Yeah, you are.
I think he has a chance, but you have Drew Holiday who can easily give you anywhere from he could easily give them like 15 a night, and then Porzingis is gonna look white man in that green jersey. You already know what happens. Plus 10 attributes across
Super
the board.
Saiyan.
He's not missing, so it's like I might lean towards Luka. Like outside of Dame, Middleton, and Brook Lopez, he doesn't have to pass it out necessarily to anyone else, and I think he's gonna eat so much. So I'm gonna go towards Giannis.
Nice. Well, that's the last one. We're done here. The episode's over. Mo, if people are still here, tell us what they should comment.
What should they comment? Subscribe to Isaac Gutierrez, Donovan, your YouTube channel, and also me.
Yep, there you go. Subscribe to all of our personals. Don't comment that, just do it. They should actually comment. What should they comment?
That is true.
Anybody got anything funny? We got to come with something good.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is
Comment
this
Wemby is actually God. Comment that.
Wemby is actually God. Okay,
There
let's
you
do it.
go.
All
dope.
See y'all next time.
Peace.
right, y'all.